Did you stream on Friday?
Yeah,
How did you go with depths on Friday?
4-1. Pretty
Nice.
good.
What did you play against?
We played against Green White. I think Titan, but I don't think I saw a Titan.
Okay.
Like Dryad stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And I played against Storm, which I think was my loss.
Okay.
And um, Doomsday. And
Doomsday's
some
an interesting
weird,
one.
like, brew type control-y ninjas snow thing.
Okay.
But it wasn't like normal ninjas.
How do you find Doomsday?
I think it's pretty good. You're usually quicker than them, and if you have a thought seize plus the combo, you're usually quicker.
Yeah, the hand disruption helps, and then also just the literal one turn swing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I've been memed a bit by Doomsday on stream. I had a player who I think in like game 2 or 3 just went turn 1 ritual into Doomsday, and their pile was land, fetch land, land, fetch land. That's his oracle because they knew that I couldn't deal enough combo damage before they just drew them naturally.
That's so good.
They were like, "Yeah, I have 3 turns. This is pretty easy."
Yeah, one of the games I won against Doomsday, they piled, but they didn't pile in a way that they could beat my thought seize.
Ah, interesting.
So
Okay.
they piled and said go, and then I thought seize and I think I had 2 thought seizes and took like a cantrip and something else, and then like they just weren't able to get to their combo.
Wow. That's pretty funny because usually they set it up correct.
Yeah, and like I was like, should I just concede here? Like, because if I wasn't on stream, I probably would just conceded. But when I'm on stream, I feel the pressure to not concede. And I was like, oh, we'll just see. We'll see. Like, maybe they'll do it wrong.
Nice. I'm just going to update quickly the created dashboard and put the deck list in Cardboard Live. Do you use Cardboard Live?
I don't. I want to email them to get the beta for Arena, so that if I use Arena, people can hover over cards.
Yeah, cool.
So I want to start using it, but I was trying to figure out yesterday who to email and how, and I couldn't find it, so I might have to ask someone.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Sidetrack told me you have to email, like, just the creator.
Ah, yeah, cool. Nice. Yeah, cool. I get along with James pretty well. I'll send him a message.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's who he said. I think he's like, you got to email James.
Yeah, cool. Okay, awesome. Yeah, James is a really nice bloke. Okay, we're just going to clear this quickly. Upload. It's really sweet. You can literally just like export your TXT file deck list and then upload it straight away to Cardboard Live, and it works seamlessly.
Yeah.
It is very cool.
I had Stream Deck of it. Everyone was telling me that Cardboard Live was better.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I'm going to quickly just put you up a little bit because Damo says you could be higher. There is a way to do that. Hopefully that's better if you just quickly say something.
Yeah, I can also turn it up here. So this is how it was before, but I can turn it up here if you need, because I have my mic on pretty low.
Oh, cool. Okay, nice. Let me get up this display image. I love this feature. And we will put this. Makes sense to go here. Cool. Okay. You all ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
Nice. Hello and welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with Turbo Depths with special guest WheresWolfe, a local Magic player, a Depths player, and also a streamer on slash WheresWolfe. Wolfe, would you like to say hello?
Hi everyone, I'm Wolfe. As Duke said, local Brisbane player. So have played alongside Dukes a lot of times. We played in team events together actually before as well.
We have. I forgot about the States.
I don't actually own a Legacy deck, but luckily Dukes owns this deck, so I get to play it a lot.
Yeah, it's a sweet deck. Was this your first Legacy deck you played in paper?
No, I think I borrowed D&T the first time, actually.
Okay. Yep, okay.
But it was the first deck I was interested in, and then luckily you had it, so...
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. It is a very cool deck, and obviously a pretty competitive deck as well, looking at Thomas Hepp and his finishes, not even just recently, but since he picked up the deck. He's been doing pretty well with it.
Yeah, I think it's really strong. It carried me, like, when I play Legacy. I think I 5-0'd the second league of Legacy I ever played, which was with this deck. So it's definitely a strong deck. It's got a very streamlined plan, so it's very easy to play in the sense that you always know what you want to do.
Yeah.
But obviously there's a lot of intricacies with the sequencing and everything like that.
Yeah, it's nice. There is a lot of sorcery speed play to it, but then you also have things like when do I crop rotation? When do I use hex mage? Like, there's definitely a few lines that the more veteran players, I guess, will know. Once you play the deck, you kind of know when you should be crop rotating or when you should be vampire hex maging, because I think most people think it's just like it's an end step thing, but I'm sure there's times where you want a sorcery speed, you know, an instant effect like those.
Yeah, it gets a bit confusing when your opponent has like an equal split of Wasteland and Oko.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they might have Oko plus Caracas plus some Wasteland, so it get a little bit confusing or something. But most of the time in those spots, you're probably going to go end step, because if they have the Wasteland, they have to play it out anyway. So you don't have to commit straight into it. Whereas if they have the other ones and you've committed, then you're going to fall behind.
Yeah, that's very true. It'd be interesting to survey a few depths players since Oko has come out and ask how much Oko has affected them, seeing it's a deck that usually plays 4 main deck Pithing Needle.
Yeah, true. Like, obviously having the needles makes it that you are able to compete with the Oko, and it's definitely not like the scariest card or anything, because you can do it end step anyway. But it's just changed that one little thing where before you might have been able to just make the 20/20 in your main phase against Delver, whereas now you're a little bit more awkward if you do that. Like, it can end a little bit badly for you.
Yeah, exactly. So you can play around things like Wasteland, but you can't play around Oko, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the general idea of this deck is to play a Dark Depths, and you can of course copy it with either Thespian Stage, or you can remove the counters with Vampire Hexmage. You can find Dark Depths or Thespian Stage through cards like Crop Rotation or Sylvan Scrying. You can also find them through the one-off Elvish Reclaimer, which I really like. I think this is probably my favorite card design of 2020. If that's... Yeah, I think still. Like, even though it's an older card, I think that it's probably one of the...
I want to know why it doesn't say draw a card on it.
Well, I guess if you can get something like Horizon Canopy, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it can draw you more than one card, really, can't it?
Yeah, that's true. But one thing that I really like about Depths is that it's pretty... It's really nice. It's just a bunch of playsets of cards. It looks like a deck that's going to be quite consistent, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, like you've got, in terms of hand disruption, you have 8 of them, right? In terms of Thespian Stages, you have like 12 of them. Well, maybe 13 if you include the Reclaimer. In terms of Dark Depths, you've got the same number. In terms of like the Hex Mage effect, you have 8. Well, you have 4 plus you have the other 12 Thespian Stages or whatever. So, yeah, it's definitely able to execute its plan very consistently. And all it is really is just the combo plus like the 8 hand disruption, the 4 pithing needle, and 3 Not of This World to protect the combo. So
yeah, Not of This World really cool. It's a Not of This World is a card that I didn't realize Veil of Summer also interacted with, because if I Swords to Plowshares your Merit Lage and then you Not of This World, if I Veil, Not of This World says counter target spell, so it actually saves the swords from being countered, which is pretty interesting.
yeah, it's a little bit awkward. I've seen that. I haven't actually had it happen to myself, but I've seen it happen on streams before.
Yeah, I've seen a few screenshots pop up on Twitter, which is pretty awesome. The other thing that I wanted to mention was the actual consistency of turn 1 Urborg, like Thoughtseize, and then turn 2 Dark Depths Hexmage Go is really high.
Yeah, I swear it happens like half of the games nearly. Like,
yeah, it kind of seems like one of those Christmas land things people talk about, but the amount of times I've lost to just turn 1 Urborg, Thoughtseize your swords, turn 2 Dark Depths, play Hexmage, I thought you had Wasteland, so I'm going to make Dark Depths now, pass. Do you have Caracas? It's like, no, I don't. I concede.
it happens a lot, and like you don't usually lose those games either.
Yeah, definitely. Crop Rotation also nice in this deck because we have the main deck Bajuka Bog, Ghost Quarter, Caracas, and Step. Step's really nice as instant speed protection. Caracas is great against some of the other unfair decks, or even kind of disruption like Thalia. Ghost Quarter I like a lot because, of course, Pithing Needle's #1 target is most likely Wasteland, so it allows us to destroy lands like Caracas, but also be able to have Pith Needle down on Wasteland. And then Bog's obviously a pretty blowout card. I think Bog with crop rotation is just really nice to have in game one against decks like Dredge or Reanimator, even a Loam deck, because you can buy a lot of time by exiling the first life in the Loam.
Yeah, definitely. I think against like lands and things like that, the first Bog can almost win the game a lot of the time, depending on what they have already, obviously. But a lot of their hands are just going to be play out some lands and then have Loam to try and find the pieces that they need. And if you can snipe that Loam, then their deck is like not functioning at the same level that it was before.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the one I get the most actually out of those four is the Step.
Yeah. Okay.
It comes up quite a lot against Swords. You just make the 20/20 and then you can crop for the Step afterwards.
Yeah, especially in a deck with Elvish Spirit Guide, you can crop rotation even when you're tapped out, which is pretty scary for an opposing white player with something like Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah, definitely. That's the one benefit of the guide over the pedal, is that you can just crop at instant speed.
Yeah, exactly. Also for things like Days, it seems pretty cool.
Damo said we should take the Mind Break traps out.
Speaking of which, for the sideboard we have 2 Mind Break traps for combo. For Graveyard Hate we have 2 Ley Lines and 2 Surgicals, which might look a little bit weird, but I actually asked Tom about this, and he said that he really thought that the Ley Lines against some of the decks that you bring them in against, you don't really need them in the opening hand. It's just kind of a luxury, so it's nice to have at least one of them in the sideboard, but you don't need the full 4.
Yeah, the reason why I like it too is just because there's a lot of matchups that Surgical will come in, but Leyline won't. So against like Storm, or even against like a Swords to Plowshares deck, depending on what you're taking out, you can bring in Surgical and Surgical to Swords.
Yeah.
But like Leyline against Snow or against Storm or Doomsday or something isn't nearly as effective. But when you have like 8 hand disruption spells, you're able to like Thoughtseize Doomsday and then Surgical it. It's much easier.
Yeah, that's very true. One thing is one thing that's nice as well is that if they see Leyline and bring in Leyline Hate, you then also have Surgical to hate them out with as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Just let me get my stream up again because it looks like it stopped on your side.
Yeah, it's just showing me a black screen for some reason.
We will fix this momentarily.
Yeah, Damo, it's on Discord, not on Twitch. Just so that I'm able to see it, like in real time.
That's really weird. I'm not sure why it stopped. Let me quickly cancel the call and I'll call you back. Apologies, guys. I won't be a second.
Yeah, I can like see your mouse moving around.
Ah, interesting.
Like,
okay.
on a black screen.
Do you want to quickly talk about Sylvan Safekeeper and what sort of matchups we bring in Sylvan Safekeeper?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
So 3 Safekeepers in the board are very important against Swords to Plowshare decks. Decks that have maybe multiple things that can target your creatures. So Karakas is a big one as well, because they're able to reuse Karakas multiple times. Throughout a match, if they've gained a bit of life, or if they're able to block with, say, the green-blue 1/1 flyer. What's it called again?
Ice Fang Quaddle.
Ice Fang Quaddle, that's it, yeah. So if they're able to block you with like an Ice Fang Quaddle and they have a Karakas in play, Safekeeper's able to protect you over like 2 turns. And before, when D&T was a deck, Safekeeper was a really good card against them because they had the Karakas and Swords and maybe Path, depending on how hateful they wanted to be. So yeah, it's going to be like, you're not going to bring it in against most unfair decks, but against the fair decks where they're trying to bounce your creature or exile your creature, then you're going to want to bring your 3 Safekeepers in there.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, it's perfect now.
Cool. One nice thing about Sylvan Safekeeper is that if you want to play around something like Submerge, you can aggressively kind of build out your board and then sack your forests.
It does come up a fair bit that you want to make sure that you don't have a forest in play against Submerge. And another way you can do it is if you only have one, you just crop it away. So there's definitely situations where I've cropped away forest for, say, Thespian Stage. Now I don't have a forest in play, and then you can make your 2020.
Yeah.
But Safekeeper just puts you in situations where you can't lose, essentially. Like if you
Yeah.
have like 4 lands plus Safekeeper, there's not much that opponents can do.
Yeah, I find the Sylvan Safekeeper starts pretty difficult for Maverick. Sometimes you keep in Plague Engineer, which is nice because it's an answer to things like Sylvan Safekeeper or Hexmage, but it's sometimes a little bit too slow, and you don't.
Yeah, I've definitely had Plague Engineer cast against me, naming Vampire usually, but I could see if there was already a Safekeeper on board, you could name Human.
Yeah, but using a Swords to Plowshares on a Safekeeper never feels that great.
Yeah. Safekeeper actually used to feel even better in the version with Dark Confidant, because you'd play out Safekeeper on 1 and they'd swords it, and then you'd play out Dark Confidant on 2, and you're asking them, hey, can you swords this as well? And then if they do, maybe you can make a 2020, hey, can you swords this as well?
Yeah, definitely. Have you ever seen Dark Confidant in the Lotus Petal decks, or is it usually in the slower Mox Diamond versions?
So I have seen it in the Lotus Petal decks, and also actually I played a version in paper once at a local Legacy event that I borrowed from you that had the Lotus Petals, because I think you didn't have diamonds anymore, or before you got diamonds.
Yeah, I sadly sold my diamonds. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I came second at that event. I only lost in the final round to the mono blue Echo of Aeon's deck.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
The disadvantage with the playing the petals with Dark Confidant is that when you have Dark Confidant, the games are going to go a little bit longer. So having a mana source that you can use every turn is much more important. Whereas in this deck, you are only usually using the mana like on the first turn or the second turn. So just having the one-time use without having to discard a card gives you the more consistent turn 1, turn 2s.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Anything else you'd like to touch on before we go into a league?
I mean, we didn't go through the other cards in the board, but they're pretty obvious. Like Force of Vigor, you're going to bring it in against Blood Moon or anywhere where they have, artifacts or enchantments that you want to get rid of. And
Yeah.
Oof is nice, actually, because you can bring that in against, like, Storm or Doomsday, or even, like, Reanimator, maybe, like, where they just have Lotus Petals or something, but you're able to play it out and just stop those few cards from working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, obviously we play our own Lotus Petals, but it's a little bit like Gaddock Teeg and Maverick stopping Green Sun Zenith, or like Containment Priest in Aetherval decks. It's a case of where you're bringing in Collector Oof against these decks because it does so much more against your opponent than it does to you.
You can also pedal out your Oof, and then it doesn't matter so much, right?
Yeah, that's true. One quick question, James. How does Dark Depths work with Blood Moon?
So if you play Dark Depths after there's a Blood Moon already in play, it's going to enter as a mountain, so therefore it won't enter with all of the counters on it. So then if you are able to remove the Blood Moon, then it's going to work as if you've Hexmaged it or you've Thespian Staged it. Your Dark Depths is going to no longer be a mountain, and it's also going to have no counters on it, so it's going to trigger straight away and make you a 20/20. So it actually is pretty funny against like the Red Moon decks. If you're able to just play a Dark Depths and then force their moon away, you just get a 20/20 for free.
Yeah, definitely. That seems really cool. I do like that change in the rules because it before, of course, it came in with the counters on it. A little bit like how Cavernous Souls. Maybe it didn't change Cavernous Souls. Maybe Cavernous Souls was always, if Blood Moon's out, you can't name anything.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I hadn't played a lot of Cavern of Souls decks myself.
Yep. No, that's fine. And then Abrupt Decay is kind of just a utility removal spell for things like opposing Pithy Needles, opposing Planeswalkers, anything that's really annoying. We can
It's
think
good
about.
against like Delver too, just to you just decay a Delver to slow down the clock, or decaying Dreadhorde Arcanist is pretty important.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Having uncounterable removal for things like Dreadhorde Arcanist is just so good.
Yeah, that card is way more powerful than I thought it was going to be when it was first released.
Exactly. Hey Mark, a huge thank you for the bits. If anyone wants to check out Strass Daddy, he is a Punishing Maverick slash 4-color Maverick master. I believe Strass does stream on Twitch on occasion, so if you want to follow him, definitely send over your follows. Let's get straight into this and see how it goes. I think we've done a pretty good deck tech. This should be really fun. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm keen.
Legacy League.
Hopefully we can get the trophy.
Yeah, that would be nice.
This season?
I haven't. I've been pretty poor, yeah.
So you're due.
Thank you. Thank you for saying I'm due. Not just you'll never get one.
I mean, we're not playing green white today, so maybe there's a slightly higher chance.
Yeah, I had a pretty abysmal time against Sneak and Show on Thursday night. We had this play lined up, and I just didn't even do it, and it just backfired so much.
That's rough. I hate losing to that deck too.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I think I'm gonna go back through it and record like what we should have done. Because
That green white deck does look sweet though. I really like Felidar Retreat.
Yeah, Felidar Retreat looks really sweet.
Oh, I think our opponent is a streamer as well.
He is. Mr. Lee is a big Cloudpost fan, also playing a Titan deck, which is pretty cool. I see something in this hand that's pretty cool. What do you see?
Well, you've got two options. You can just turn 2, make a 20/20 if you know what they're on and you think that that is good.
Mm-hmm.
You can just play Stage on 1, Dark Depths on 2,
Yep.
and then exile 2 guides to make a 20/20.
Yep.
Or if you think that Inquisitioning is going to be important, then you can Inquisition on 1, and then you'll be turn 3 making a 20/20, which obviously is a little bit slower, but just depends what you think is going to be better against what your opponent is doing.
Yeah, exactly. So I believe Mr. Lee is usually on a Cloudpost slash. He has been playing a green-white Titan deck, like the Vile Titan deck in Modern. He's actually made a Legacy deck, which is really cool, which sometimes played Chalice. But this hand is pretty good against Chalice.
That's what I played against the other day.
Okay.
Yeah. Against the green-white deck, this hand could be good. It's pretty light to a well, like you're not gonna make a turn 2 20/20 if they have a Wasteland.
Yeah.
But we could go a little bit slower against them if that was the case. I kind of like keeping it.
Yeah, I think I like keeping it as well. I also like if they start on a forest, we do have the option if we really wanted to is to keep the stage if it gets wastelanded by copying their forest.
Yeah.
But I don't think we'll see that happen.
Hey, once upon a time.
Ooh, cavern. Okay. Oh, there's the forest.
We'll see if your prediction comes true. They might not even play a wasteland on turn 2. If we just go turn 1 stage go, we might be able to get away with making a 20/20.
Yeah, exactly. So we could Inquisition and find out what they're on, but that does put us a whole turn behind, which is pretty rough.
I think against Forest, I'm pretty happy to just play the stage. I'm not sure if there's much important that we're gonna want to take away.
Yeah, I guess the only thought from their deck is maybe crop rotation somewhere. Oh, exploration.
Yeah, exploration.
So we know about Cavern of Souls.
We can pretty handily guess that they drew that just now as well, the exploration.
Yeah, because they didn't play
otherwise they would have played it on turn 1, so it doesn't feel too bad that we didn't Inquisition because they probably weren't able to they wouldn't have had the exploration in hand.
Yeah, that's very true. I feel like we're just going Dark Depths pass.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I would love to see my opponent tap out for something here.
Yeah, if they don't have green mana available or white mana available, then it would be great, but we'll see.
Ooh, Wasteland's gonna be okay.
Wasteland.
We'll see if they'll go for it. This feels like a Dryad to me.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Knight. Okay, Knight's pretty good.
I didn't think about it, but we maybe should have even just made the the 20/20 on our turn.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting as well. I guess that plays around a few things, including Wasteland.
Because I don't think they're even going to have swords if they're on Chalice. I guess they're not on Chalice if they've got Exploration. Okay, this turn... We're going to need to find an answer for the Wasteland at some point. We have a Petal as well.
Unfortunately, the Knight is probably also going to be able to get Caracas.
Yeah. So we're probably not winning this game without a Needle, I would say.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a line where we can go Sylvan Scrying for Ghost Quarter, but that doesn't beat Caracas.
It's probably still going to be the card that we're going to get with the Sylvan Scrying.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else really here that we're going to want to get. The question is, do you want an Inquisition or do you just assume that they don't have anything in hand?
So they played 1 and then 2 and then 2, so they could still have a land in play. The the Knight's very difficult because now that's showing both Wasteland and Caracas.
Yeah. We can still win if we find a Needle, I think. So I don't think the game is completely over.
Yeah.
Because we can Ghost Quarter of Caracas and Needle Wasteland. Do they play like Ghost Quarter or anything as well?
I'm not too sure.
You're not sure? Okay.
I think that like Verdant into Swamp Inquisition is fine.
Yeah.
Or maybe even... No, it has to be
Just
a
get
Swamp.
Bayou.
Yeah, I could get a Bayou. Prime time. Okay. 2, 4, 5. Interesting. So maybe there's a world where they don't draw a land and they tap out using the Knight to play the Primeval Titan.
Yeah, so I guess just say go. Don't play out the Petal because we don't want them to know that we have 2 mana sources in hand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Jay's got a great point. And James, you brought it up as well, that they're most likely a 4 Wasteland deck, 1 Caracas deck. So making the Thespian stage in upkeep is... Last turn is probably the correct play.
Yeah, we should have, but it was an oversight. If we were playing a little bit slower, we might have thought of okay. So it shuts off Petal, right?
Does it shut off?
It doesn't shut off the combo. Because you can sacrifice lands.
Yeah, and this exiles. This isn't sacrifice.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright.
They're definitely not doing anything else in terms of they won't be using the Wasteland this turn.
Another
Another
scry.
scry. Why can't we scry for Needle, please? They almost certainly are going to have Caracas in their deck, right?
Yeah, I believe there's definitely no really deck building restriction to not have it. You can also do things like return your Shan to get extra basics out of your deck.
Yeah, so I guess we maybe just scry for a Ghost Quarter this turn, and then we're going to hope to find a Pithing Needle the next turn. We're not going to be dead, are we? We're at 19, so...
I think what they might be referring to is just like an end-step Wasteland off the Knight, and then, like, waste Thespian stage. If we don't do anything, waste that Thespian stage.
Yeah.
But we might as well play it out a little bit. So if we go and get Ghost Quarter... Nothing else here is great, so I think Ghost Quarter is just the best card.
I was just thinking, another thing that we could have done, which might not matter, but if we had played out the Lotus Petal, because we've played this game as if we have... They essentially, like, I guess that doesn't make any sense, actually. I was going to say, we sort of played it like we have the 2 mana for the stage, but But Lotus Petal's sorcery speed anyway, so it wouldn't change anything.
Mm.
I was just thinking about whether or not if we played it out, then they might think that we weren't able to make 2020 anymore. But
Yeah, that's
they
true.
would know that it has to be guide.
Yeah, double Wasteland's brutal as well because now Pith Needle doesn't do too much because they can respond to the needle.
Yeah, that's gonna do it now. We just have to let that happen.
Yeah. If they Wasteland the stage, do we copy a basic?
Yeah, I think we do. Because then if we draw Dark Depths, we have access to it.
Yeah, the only issue with that is that they can actually sack the basic in response.
Yeah.
I might as well see what they get with the giant, and then maybe concede after that. I mean, there could be a world where we cast the needle, they do nothing, and we name Knight in this position.
Yeah, that's true.
But it takes a pretty good draw. Because we can't needle and Dark Depths. Oh, we can needle and Dark Depths.
Yeah.
But if they get Caracas here, it's going to be pretty rough. Field of the Day Bog. Okay. That's pretty interesting. Maybe they're either showing that they have Caracas in the deck and they want to get it by night, or they don't have it.
They don't have. We might have been able to. Might have been able to do something. I can't remember the previous turns now, but yeah, I think we could have won this game by making the 2020 on our turn, but that's okay. We've got games 2 and 3. We can pull it back. As a Dark Depths.
I assume they won't use the Knight here. If they do, we can
won't.
try to do something, but if they just untapped and they have the Wasteland.
If they untap, we can probably just concede, I think. Yeah. Okay, how do we want to sideboard against them?
I like Decays for Knights and Surgicals for Wasteland.
Yeah, Decays are good for both Knight and, like, they're probably playing Dryad too, so that there might be situations where we can kill the Dryad so it doesn't kill us.
Yeah.
How much do you think they're going to be pressuring us? Maybe too much for library. We probably want the games to go quick, I would say.
Yeah, library's an interesting one.
Do you think that they're going to be playing Swords to Plowshares?
Yes.
I played against the deck the other day and I didn't see any swords.
Yeah, Safekeeper's also quite nice.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, yeah.
There's a thought, because they have Primeval Titan, I kind of want to make sure our hand disruption always has a hit, so I kind of like the Thoughtseize over these, if we were going to cut any hand disruption.
Duress, but I think I like keeping the Inquisition.
Yeah.
Because they've got Knight, which is really important for us to get rid of if they have that in hand.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think maybe then I like Safekeeper because if we're not taking something from their hand, we're still protecting our combo in a different way.
Yeah.
So I like maybe a split between these two.
So at the moment we've got 64 cards in the deck.
Yeah.
Unsure if we actually want the Surgicals for Wasteland if we have if we're going to leave 4 needles in our deck.
Yeah, that's very true.
Then I probably wouldn't bring in Surgical. If you want to cut something for Decays, it's fine to cut mana. Like, it's fine to cut Bog, maybe, if it's not doing anything. You've got a choice between Bog and Caracas, whichever one you think does the least. And then, like, a Petal. So I'd cut Lotus Petal, and then I probably probably don't even bring the Safekeepers in if we have Not of This World as well. I'd just bring in the 2 Decays.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm just thinking, how many times are they going to target our thing? All we know of really is Caracas, right? Like we haven't seen swords.
No. That's a tough one.
Like if you want to bring the Safekeepers in, we can cut Petal and Bog or Caracas.
Okay. I like Bog. I'm going to take Caracas out.
Yeah.
I think this is pretty sweet.
Yeah, you've got 6 seconds, yeah.
I think the library could be okay, even just to be pretty aggressive with it, because I'm not too sure how they accelerate stuff out, if they play Mox Diamond or not.
Yeah, I'm not completely familiar with the list, which obviously makes boarding a little bit harder. I think we got to throw that back.
Yeah, it's a sadly mulligan. Doesn't really have a plan. It's got protection and fast mana, but that's about it.
Yeah, with this hand, it's probably a mulligan too, because we don't have either part of the combo, I think.
Yeah, so we have it.
This...
You go, sorry. There you go.
I was going to say, if I had this hand with, like, a Dark Depths or a Stage, or a Hex Mage, like, if you swapped one of the Needles for that, or a Decay for that, like, I would keep Pithing Needle one part of the combo, but I'm probably not going to keep no combo. Yeah,
exactly. And to cast the Decay, we have to actually lose a mana source as well, which kind of sucks. Yeah. I think there is a better 5. And this is pretty close to it.
Yeah, so we're probably going to keep Inquisition and Pithing Needle, and then... Wait, we've got to throw 2 cards back, right?
Yeah.
So I'd probably throw back a land and... Definitely a land, and then I'm thinking I'm leaning towards, yeah, either Crop or Scrying.
Yeah, I think it's Urborg and Scrying. We keep this, and maybe we just start on... We could go Bayou into Wasteland on Needle. Just to make sure.
I kind of like leading with Swamp Inquisition, because that way, if they are going to have Exploration in their hand, we're able to take it. If they have whatever their first play is, essentially, we can take, and then we're able to use the Needle after that.
Yeah, cool. I like that. They kept 6. Okay.
Yeah, Jay, I was thinking that I'd probably board similarly to how I would against Maverick, but it's not exactly the same, so it kind of made things a little bit awkward.
The question is, if they have Exploration, but also something like a Knight, would you rather just take the Knight?
Yeah, if they don't have anything, if Knight's their only gas spell,
yep.
I'd probably take the Knight.
Haha. Hey, Rebel Cheap. Hey, Andre. Welcome. Hope you're having a nice weekend. Interesting. So my reasoning here for taking the Rex Sage, perhaps, is because they already have the Wasteland, it's pretty rough on the Needle.
Yeah, they're not playing Knight until turn 3 at the moment either, so I think it's good to take the Rex Sage.
Yep. Of course, Knight as well, really only getting Pith Needle. We have crop rotation if we do need something for Caracas, so I think that's fine.
I mean, this crop is probably going to have to be a Stage or a Depths, but hopefully we can draw one or the other, and then we'll be able to combo like turn 4. An interesting thing as well is we could have kept Urborg to lead on Urborg Swamp, just because if you draw a Dark Depths or a Stage, then we would be able to Bayou, crop away the Bayou, and then combo on turn 3.
Yeah, that's very true. Maybe I was a little bit too tunnel visioned into thinking that I just wanted to be protected by Wasteland.
Yeah. A lot of the time they're not going to Wasteland you on turn 1 anyway, because they want the Wasteland for the combo.
Exactly.
But you never know what opponents are going to do. Like, you can play towards the things that people usually do, but then they might just Wasteland you on turn 1. Another cool thing with this deck that doesn't come up much with the main deck Pithing Needles is sometimes you just Thoughtseize them and then you can Mox, like Lotus Petal out a Needle and name their fetch land, but
Yeah, I was thinking of naming Misty, but I think it's best just to name Wasteland and then Night with the second needle.
yeah, I agree.
Especially with Urborg in the deck, naming fetches doesn't always
Oh,
work
yeah,
out
man.
well. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Apologies, that's... Sorry.
All good.
Maybe that puts our opponent in a situation where they think they have to aggressively go for some sort of mana denial strategy because we're missing land drops.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably just play by ear.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about Wasteland, so... Yeah, Yashan is really spicy in this list.
We maybe even could have waited on this needle because there is the chance that they just like draw and play out a Caracas before we find our combo. And like depending on what happens, we're pretty far away from comboing, so we're probably gonna have the mana available to be able to play out a needle at a later stage of the game.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. I think that's a great point, especially because if they drew another 3-drop, if we name Knight here, they might just play the other one.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that we didn't play at our land though does mean that if we draw a stage and then we have to crop for depths, we may not have the mana
Yeah.
to play a Pithing Needle in the same turn.
Did you realize how many Knight of these are in Magic?
I did not.
Neither.
I'm always so scared when I'm playing with Pithing Needle because I don't know if you've noticed, I don't know the names of cards very much.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think I have clicked on the wrong thing before with a needle. And
There's more than one Oko, and I legitimately didn't know what the right Oko to name was. And chat was telling me like a 50-50 split between the two. Step's not a good draw. Playing the waiting game.
Pretty scary when they have a prime time in hand.
Yeah. We have a lot of good draws. Like literally half of our deck at this point is a good draw.
Always name Knight of the Eben Legion. The card is a pretty good legacy card.
I actually do know that card.
Is that the one black 2/1?
It's a 1/2, I think.
Okay. And you can pump it.
Yeah, pay 3 mana.
Yeah.
And it gains like plus
2/2.
I think it's yeah, no, it is +2/+2. Yeah, I was thinking it was +2/+0, but it's +2/+2 and Death Touch. And then also because it's a 2020 card, it has another ability.
Come on. Oh.
Hey, that's nice.
Is that a reason why we should have played the step last turn?
Yeah. Yeah, +3/+3 even. I was thinking it goes to a an X4, but yeah, so we just have to play out step and say go.
Yeah.
We should still be fine here.
Yeah, so opponent can get back Ramanap, but I don't think we really care. The only thing that Ramanap here achieves is making sure they hit the mana, which I assume they have in hand for the Primeval Titan.
Yeah. Ramanap will shrink the knight if they don't fetch straight away.
You heard it here first from James Wolfe. Best case is that we draw one piece of the combo, so then we can keep a crop up for Ghost Quarter for Caracas.
Yeah.
Thoughtseize. We don't want to do that because we want to have the 2 mana up. And I think that is... Yeah, they have a 2-turn clock right now, so that's pretty scary. And if they want to tap out for prime time, that's more than fine.
If they don't, that's kind of scarier.
Yeah.
They haven't played the Wasteland from hand, right?
They have not.
So Wasteland Primetime Unknown.
They are fetching, so maybe they are tapping out here for prime time.
Yeah, hopefully. What if they get Radiant Fountain?
I was just thinking of double Radiant Fountain. That's classic. Okay, we'll let them get what they want.
Or even Radiant Fountain Vesuva. That's probably more realistic.
Mm. How does Primeval Titan not have reach? Let's be honest. I feel like if it was printed in 2020, and I do hate those memes, but if it did, I think it would have trample reach.
It would have reach for sure.
Field and Caracas. Okay, this is...
Cool.
I think we just do it in response here, yeah. Crop away this. Go and get Duck Depths. I'll get Stage. And then crop away this. Go and get Duck Depths. We will then copy Dark Depths.
Have you guys read Outer Gargaroth? I have read that card.
Keep the Stage.
I actually wasn't convinced that Gargaroth was good when it first came out because I was like, it doesn't do anything when you play it.
Yeah, that's very true. Surely they can't have anything here. Yes, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what they can
Nice. I'm going to quickly go to the bathroom. If you want to talk about sideboarding, and then we'll make a sideboard plan when I come back, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's all good. So we still haven't seen any swords. Like, I'm kind of thinking that they don't even have swords. Does anyone in chat know the list and know whether or not they play swords in this deck? Because, like, as someone mentioned before, you should sideboard as if it's Maverick, but that sideboard plan is assuming they're going to have swords and maybe Path as well. Because Safekeeper hasn't actually felt like it was that good. You didn't see sword from them when we played. Yeah, I played against them on Friday as well. I ran depth through a league, and I didn't see swords then either. So I'm kind of thinking that the Safekeeper isn't needed. We have 3 Not of This World for Caracas. But then what would we bring in instead? Outer Gargaroth and Baneslayer in the same slot is the problem with WotC? Yeah. Baneslayer isn't doing a lot versus that card. Dude, that was quick.
I know, I kind of ran. But luckily I can hear you the whole way, so I heard the strategy. As yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking we don't need the Safekeepers.
Okay.
This is my second match. I'm pretty sure I'm not sure if it was Mysterly I played against on Friday, but it's like the same cards. And I haven't seen the swords yet. Someone in chat says they've played against it and they haven't seen the swords yet.
Yeah, so I'm going to quickly find it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. He's played a lot of different green-white decks.
Okay.
Like he's got a version with Archon.
I don't remember what that card is. Is that the
When
thing?
When it comes into play, you can name either like instant, sorcery, creature, or enchantment, I think, and then I can't cast those relevant spells. I do want the library, but I don't like the library on the draw, which is a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too painful, but I think even just having Caracas in our deck is probably better than having a Safekeeper, and maybe just Caracas Petal.
Yeah,
like out of the sideboard cards. Force does something, Duress does something, but I'm not sure how often they're going to be doing something relevant.
Yeah, to be fair, even if they have that 4/4/4 drop that's a legendary creature, just to save some time and maybe Fog with Caracas could be something that you want in the deck.
Yeah.
It's only like a small margin, but... Alright. I feel like one issue that I have is just that I've been kind of rushing the plays before we discuss them, and then we've actually had a better play even right after we've done it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you have watched much when I play this deck on stream. I'll be at like 5 minutes on my clock, and my opponent will be at like 15. It might seem like a really simple deck, but I often spend a lot of time thinking about what it is that I want to do on each of the individual turns. That it gets to the point that I have no clock, and they have like a full clock.
I don't mind this hand.
Yeah, it's okay.
It does.
The main thing is that we don't have a way to deal with the wasteland, but I think it's probably fine to keep. Let's just think out what the turns are going to be. Turn 1, we're going to Thoughtseize.
Off Urborg?
It doesn't really matter whether it's off Catacombs or Urborg, because we have a crop. So if we play out a Bayou, we can always crop it away.
Yep.
So turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Scrying, turn 3 Combo.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a fine keep. The main issue is that most of their hands that they keep on 7 are probably going to have Wasteland in them. But, you know, if we draw a piece of the combo, or if we draw a needle or something, then we'll be able to deal with that.
Yeah. Cool. The board doesn't stop much in this deck. The board stops Not of this World, as you said, and also just Lotus Petal.
I didn't even realize it stopped Not of this World. What is the text on the board?
And fetch lands, perhaps?
No, it doesn't stop lands.
Okay, cool.
If it stopped fetch lands, that card would be insane,
Yeah,
as
it
someone
would
pointed
be.
out to me the other day.
Yeah, well, Angel of Jubilation does.
Oh, wow. What's that one? Triple Y?
Yeah. There was a time where I tried to play it in Death and Taxes.
Oh, it does stop fetch lands.
Players can't pay life or sacrifice creatures to cast spells or activate abilities.
I thought that the text on board just says non-lands. Can we get the card text for the board? You can watch my PME at Twitch.
Nice. Dried up a pass. Very interesting. If we draw into Hex Mage, I'll be very happy. Petal.
Oh, so you can't pay life at all to activate abilities. It's not just for non-lands.
Does Petal change anything?
I
We probably want to play it out. Even just to hold up crop.
think we're probably just going to Thoughtseize on 1, though.
Yep. Off Urborg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's no reasoning here to go for a basic.
Well, because if we get Swamp, I guess we have double guide.
I think the big question is, I think I'd be happy for them to wasteland us if it's not going towards the combo. So I think Urborg Thoughtseize is fine.
That's why a lot of the time, like, we only have 2 lands, so it could actually be bad for us if they do that. But a lot of the time, oh, they have Caracas, okay. And they have the swords.
Yeah.
So.
That's pretty interesting. I
What's
don't.
Green Sun's?
They might have Elvish Reclaimer.
Reclaimer, okay.
This is an interesting one.
Yeah, they have 3 good cards. That's not a loud opponent. They must have 1 good card. Oh, you're saving it to see what people think.
I hate that I have Take already as a as a name.
Okay, so do they only play 1 Arbor, by the way?
I believe so.
One
Yeah.
Bright Arbor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, usually.
So, what can we do? We've got, at the moment, we don't have access to play around Caracas. So if we go their turn 2, they do nothing, right? Or they can Green Suns for 1. Their turn 3, they can play Knight, but then they don't have anything open.
Yeah.
So if we go turn 2, we search up thing. Yeah, so...
I think it's Sword because we don't 100% know what Green Suns can get.
I agree, because like the Knight is going to be quite awkward for them to play and hold up Caracas at the same time. And I'm not sure what they can Green Suns for 1 that would really matter. Like, they can get Reclaimer, but that's very similar to the Knight in terms of what it's going to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. Let's bring up the hand as well.
Yeah, at first I was like, why are you sniffing it? It just brings the hand up for you.
Yeah. So Molten Vinegar, this is actually quite an awkward hand because it had 2 lands that kind of come in tapped.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a fast start from our opponent. And having the Green Suns and Dried Arbor is something I have felt a lot of. When you keep a hand, you're like, well, We can't Green Suns for 0 for Arbor because it's right here.
It's a shame we weren't able to answer the Arbor, to be honest.
Yeah, even like imagine crop into our own Arbor here
Oh yeah.
to
I
then
mean, we
block,
could
and then they
Ghost
have no.
Quarter it, but that obviously doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't do what you want it to do. Oh, you can't. Can you even Ghost Quarter it? Actually, it's a basic, right?
This is interesting.
So.
I mean, this is a win because we have.
Yeah.
But they have the Caracas, so.
Yeah. So.
Is there a world where we go for Sylvan Scrying here for Ghost Quarter?
That's what I'm thinking about. So the two choices, you play out Dark Depths and you pass, and then you just see if they play Night, and if they do, you can make the 20/20. Otherwise, you scrying for Ghost Quarter. But the thing is, we have 2 Elvish Spirit Guides. So on the next turn, we would be able to guide scrying for Ghost Quarter and still have combo open.
Yeah, very true.
So I kind of like just playing Dark Depths.
Yeah.
And then passing.
My only question is there a world where we have to play around Green Suns for Ramanap to get back Ghost Quarter that's being... get back Caracas that's being Ghost Quartered? Because we kind of have to do this in, like, upkeep before they can...
No, you can do it end step, and then you can combo end step.
But then they can Knight for... If the Knight's
right.
living. So next turn they play Knight?
If they play Knight next turn, then we win.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, nice. Okay, so Dark Depths here.
Yeah.
And then just pass?
Yeah.
Oh, Expedition Map has a really spicy play. And his name is Expedition Map, or their name,
Yeah.
so... I kind of do before I pass. Just, we've gone to end step, okay.
Yeah. We'll hear what the spicy play was, though.
For those of you who can't see what we have here, it's, exploration.
Oh, okay.
What you can do here is float 2 black with these 2 lands, crop rotate away the Urborg for Thespian stage, and then copy the Dark Depth straight away.
Valakut. So their hands, Green Suns, Knight, Plains.
Yes. Hey Tom.
Yeah.
Cool to have you in chat. Yeah, so I think we just untap and then go for the Sylvan Safekeeper line.
Yeah. Silver Scrying.
Yep, Sylvan Scrying. But then we have to wait for end step, because if we Ghost Quarter Caracas in our turn or in their upkeep, then they can Green Suns for ramming up and get it back with the Ancient Tomb.
Yeah. So we're just gonna wait till end step. But...
Okay.
Ooh,
Well,
wait! Don't play the Catacombs. You need to play Ghost Quarter.
Oh yeah. Oh well, do I? Because they're not as well.
I still would probably play it, right? Because what about if they just play Wasteland for turn?
Yeah. Okay.
Or I guess you could. No, you can't combo now. You could combo upkeep maybe if you wanted, but we have the Ghost Quarter for a Wasteland anyway. So
Yeah. Nice. Don't listen to Expedition Map, he still likes Dark Confidant. I feel so bad for Dark Confidant. Even in Modern, it isn't seeing too much play since Ren and Six entered the format.
I tried to just keep jamming Dark Confidant, as I think Dukes knows, but I just wasn't winning with that version of the deck.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I used to love that. Like, when Miracles was a big part of the format, and you could just, like, play out Dark Confidant against them, just felt so good. What's this for here? Green Suns for 3?
Hey, Mike's got a good point. So Mike was saying in chat that we should have used the Lotus Petal as one of the targets.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I didn't think it would matter, so I didn't say anything. But definitely, it's probably better.
3 is going to be interesting. I guess one card that I kind of think of is Knight of Autumn, just to gain 2 life, or 4 life and go up to 22.
Yeah.
But I think there's nothing that we do here in response, right?
Not that I know of. I can't think of any reason.
Yeah.
They might show us a Ooh. What about if they're playing Magus?
Of the moon?
Yeah.
They can't green
But we
suns
can't
for
do
it.
anything anyway because they could get Ramanap. I guess they can't play Magus in their lands deck. But I just saw the Valakut and I was like, wait, what could they do that would screw us? But yeah, they can't be playing that in their deck. They're playing too many non-basics, right?
Yeah, I think so.
They could stop our pedal.
Oh, maybe with Collector Oof, and they're just going for 3 to make it look like we're not going for anything.
Well, what's their hand? It's Green Sun's Unknown. What about if we just float? If we float mana,
Floating mana is fine.
it's might not be though because then if they get Ramanap,
Then
I
we can
guess we
just
have Nodus as well, so it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fine. You can float mana.
Ramanap.
Yeah, they get Ramanap. Do you just want to Do you just want to crop away Ghost Quarter, or do you want to use the Ghost Quarter? Because using it, they can just play a land, right?
Yeah, so they have 1 unknown left, and if it's Wasteland, I guess that's where it really screws us up if we don't sack the Urborg.
Okay. Well, we can just make the 2020 now then. Yeah, if they have swords, it's bad, but I think if they have swords now, we're gonna lose.
So we can Ghost Quarter the Krakus,
Yeah.
and then go for Crop.
Wait.
Oh no, because then they can replay it.
Yeah, we have Nod of this world for that though. It's just if the last card is swords.
Yeah.
That's the only issue. If the last card is swords, then it's gonna be really bad for us.
We sacked Paddle in case they went for Collector Oof.
Yeah, I guess it didn't matter though because we had the mana, but oh, we didn't have the green.
We didn't have green, yeah.
Yeah. How many land drops do they have for turn? Do you know if they played a land? Does it say in the log?
I don't think they have. So even if they have Wasteland, they could do something like Wasteland Caracas to get another hit off it if we don't Ghost Quarter it first.
Yeah, I guess we just Ghost Quarter it here at this point, and just hope they don't have swords.
Oh, did they play the Plains this turn? Yeah, they did. They did. So they have 1 land drop. And if it's Caracas, it's Caracas.
Yeah, it leads all the way back to not using the pedal for scrying. You're right.
Yeah. So I think the play is Ghost Quarter Caracas and then go for the combo.
And hopefully they don't have swords. Because we're going to have nothing left in play.
Yeah.
Don't float wide, opponent. It's intimidating. They might just get Forest. And then, to be able to play the Knight, maybe.
But then they're just dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, using the pedal was a pretty good play. I just didn't think of that.
I thought of it, but just didn't think it would matter. So just let you do the thing because you were kind of already playing the spells and everything. And I was like, could this matter? I don't think so.
All right, float 2. Crop away Urborg. Go and get Thespian Stage.
I just realized we're in their main phase, so yeah, they get priority. So if they had Wasteland, they could just play it.
Ah, interesting, yeah. That's very true.
Yep. Please don't have swords.
Ah! Okay, well, it buys us time.
Yeah, we're not winning this game with one. I think we're on a mull to 1, and they start with all those permanents in play. I wonder if we go back, was there anything that would have changed that we could have won?
Maybe the pedal play, because then we could use the Ghost Court on Krakus in end step and then go off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, that's a loss.
Yeah, now it's tough with Knight as well.
Playing Magic with two people is actually harder than playing with one sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Even from a time constraint, I played with Connor Loma Boy last weekend on Loam, and
yeah, I was watching a bit.
it's tough because there's so many lines for Loam, and it's already a grindy deck. So to have two people going for it, it's pretty tough. But
Okay, that was unfortunate. I think we could have found the win of that match, but that's okay.
yeah, that's just early play jitters. Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll get the 4-1 for sure.
But that's even like a nice little learning curve that in that position, Elvish Spirit Guide is just such a better resource than Lotus Petal, and using the Lotus Petal for the Sylvan Scrying makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, on the play, which is nice. A lot of mana.
It's a mulligan, yeah.
Yeah, one part of the combo, but I don't think that's good enough. This is pretty good.
Yeah, it's turn 2.
Yeah, I think we put back the Caracas. Step might be good enough if they have like a Delver start or something.
Yeah, you can put back Caracas, yeah.
Now this is an interesting one. I think we want to turn 1 Scrying for Dark Depth so we can turn 2 Urborg Hexmage.
Yeah.
And I think we just want to go for Urborg Lotus Petal and hold the Elvish Spirit Guide.
Yeah, because you got Urborg for black mana. The only time that you want Petal over Guide is if you need black mana for Hexmage. Which I'm not saying we will need this game, because if we lose our Urborg, then the game's going to go very long. But I'm just meaning in general, the only reason to ever keep your Petal over as a Guide is if you need it to cast your Hexmage. So if your hand doesn't have Hexmage as a part of the plan, you can always use the Petal. But if you have Urborg, you can obviously use it too.
Yep. Maybe just because Petal sacks for black as well, I will use the Elvish Spirit Guide here.
Okay. In case we lose the Urborg. Do you want to play it out in case they have a Chalice or something?
The Lotus Petal?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might even, like, here we're bluffing crop rotation in some aspects. Yeah, I guess my thought for Petal here is that if they choose for some reason to wasteland the Urborg, then we already have 1 black source for the Hexmage, we just need 1 more.
Yeah, most opponents will never waste on turn 1 against this deck. Not saying that it can't happen, but...
Well... Do we have a way to get rid of that?
I'm just having a look. I don't think there is in this. There's no decays in the main deck of this list, right?
Interesting. Play our depths and then just pass.
Yeah, I don't think we... Can you check the list? I don't think we have a way to answer it. Because we only have needles. We don't have...
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can just concede.
There's fair beats.
Okay.
I think they give away more from their list, playing it out, than we do from ours, because ours is pretty stock.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen what we care about, for the most part.
Dukes is like my grandma. Thank you. I do bake, time to time. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, you can play it out. Maybe they'll attack. Who knows?
Oh, of course, of course.
Tom. I love that both half of this card is like kind of playable.
Yeah.
And they were like, why not just put them both on the same card?
Oh, Rebel Mark. Why don't you play that? Interesting.
Pre-combat, yeah.
Rough.
Yeah, this matchup's actually not that bad.
I think
because
post.
of the fact. Sorry.
Sorry, you go. I was gonna say just like the Magus is so much better against us than Blood Moon, especially post board because of Force.
Yeah, it is. But a lot of the times, like they are quite slow. Like their deck is slow. If they have turn one Blood Moon, obviously they can just steal games from you.
Yeah.
But a lot of games you're able to Thoughtseize them, or you're able to just make a 20/20 from killing their Blood Moon or something.
Yeah.
Like it seems like a Blood Moon deck should be like a terrible matchup, right? But it's actually not that bad.
I'm gonna play out the pedal here and play on because there is a world where they just for some reason attack with the Magus and the Moon into the Elvish Spirit Guide, but they're gonna destroy it anyway. So
Yeah.
might as well make them win. This is an interesting matchup. I think it's just the Forces and the Decays.
Yeah, we definitely want those cards.
I do like the hand disruption. I think the Bog can probably come out, and probably
Yeah,
even
definitely.
Caracas.
We haven't. Not of this world doesn't do anything, right? Like just nothing.
My only consideration is if they're playing Dead Gone.
Yeah. Is that sorcery?
It is an instant, I believe.
Oh, it's instant. I
One
always
half
thought
is
that
deal
card
2
was
to creature, and
sorcery.
one is bounce.
Yeah, I used to play it in modern, but from memory, I thought it was a sorcery.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't cut both Caracas and Bog just because of land count.
Okay.
I just cut one, or you could even cut Step if you don't think Step's going to do anything, because the untapped land is probably better than a tapped land.
Yeah, it's a great consideration.
So maybe keep the Bog.
I guess Bog is a black source.
Yeah. And what about needles? Probably
Um,
cut a needle or two, right?
yeah, it's really just Planeswalkers that we're going to be naming. Probably just Chandra. There's nothing else to really name.
Yeah, we have quite a lot of bad cards. None of this world's pretty bad, and Pithing Needle is pretty bad as well.
I don't mind Library on the play, even as just a way to try to maybe draw out of a lock.
Yeah, we could bring it in over.
Oof is also interesting because it turns off Chromox as well, which we saw them play.
Yeah.
And it does give us a little bit more play to playing a fair beatdown game, which doesn't sound great, but it
The
does
only thing is a
disrupt
lot of
them.
the games, like most of the time when we're winning, we're making a very fast 20/20 or just answering a Blood Moon. Like,
Yeah.
But I guess on the play, Oof might be okay. Like if you played it out on one, it might stop them from playing a Blood Moon. So if you want to bring Oof in, we could. We'd just have to cut. Oh, we're already at 6. Oh no, yeah. So we just have to cut like Needle maybe if you wanted to do that. Because I like all of the mana sources because they're a Blood Moon deck. It allows us to cast Decay, like in terms of guides and petals. So the only other card in our deck, the only cards in our deck now that I'd be willing to take out would be Needle or Library.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's an interesting case because it might just be that Collector Oof is actually worse for us because it turns off our own Lotus Petals.
Yeah, I think that was probably the case actually. I probably wouldn't bring it in.
I was
Probably only bringing that in when we're cutting like two petals or something.
a little bit slow.
Yeah, against their deck, I don't think we can keep it. This is a hand I would keep in the dark on a game 1.
Yep.
But we have no way to beat a Blood Moon.
Yep.
We don't have any hand disruption. Like, there's probably a lot of hands that are better than this on 6.
Yeah. Turn 1
Like
duress.
this one is better.
And then we have the combo.
Yeah, we're gonna be soft to Magus.
Yep.
So what do you want to? Would you put back Needle maybe?
Maybe even second duress, because I think turn 2 I'd be happy to play out the Reclaimer.
Yeah.
Usually this deck keeps like one Haymaker 3-drop that you can cast turn 2 or turn 1. So if I can grab that with duress, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm just thinking how much is Pithing Needle likely to impact the game versus how often will second duress impact the game.
Yeah, that's fair, because in my mind, Pith Needle takes care of Chandra, but so does duress, unless they have a turn 1 moon.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like putting back Needle, but I'm happy either way if you want to put back duress.
I'm going to put back duress just because the consideration that Needle can be played through Blood Moon on turn 1.
Yeah, that's fine.
We also have a pretty good number of hand disruption spells to draw into.
Is that Boyd with the sub?
Hey Boyd, a huge thank you for the sub. 18
Oh,
months. Very cool. There's the Blood Moon. Okay. So they do have... they have Magus as well. And then they also have Khan and Chandra.
Yeah, I guess we hope to find Force. Which
Okay.
actually might be a reason to not play out. Oh, I guess we can't force Magus anyway.
Maybe there's a reason to not take the Blood Moon to see if they cast it because we do have an answer for it.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just take either Chandra or Khan. And I think we take Chandra and then name Khan with Pith and Needle.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Yeah, Magus and Blood Moon in the opening is pretty rough.
If they lead on Moon and we draw Force next turn, that would be pretty good. But they probably lead on. Oh, they do lead on Moon.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is interesting.
They
I mean,
give us
like,
the chance.
it gives us the out. Here we go. Ah! Okay. Well, that turns on Reclaimer.
So I'd probably play out Dark Depths. What do you think? Or would you wait?
Interesting.
I guess it doesn't matter. We can always just play it next turn if they don't.
Yeah. Khan.
Great Creator.
Do I want to? Like, I don't think I want to play the Reclaimer in case we draw
Yeah, I
like a
don't think
Force.
there's any reason. It's very unlikely, but we might be able to decay something.
Let's Magus. And at least the pedal is 1/2 of Abrupt Decay.
Yeah.
Crop.
Right. Okay.
The Fools turn Dark Depths into a mana source. Tough. I mean, we do have some pretty good outs. Oh, no, we don't, because of the Magus. Okay.
Yeah.
They're going to play the Khan. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there? Oh well, we can't use the pedal now.
Yeah. I am just going to pass back.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have a fast clock, which is nice. Just don't play a Goblin.
We actually should have played out the Reclaimer from the pedal. I forgot that Khan was going to stop it.
Yeah, I didn't think of that as well. I guess we can... Oh, we can't kill the Khan. Rough. I think that just means we don't have an out to the Magus unless we draw both basics.
Yeah.
So maybe what we
should... We have to draw Swamp, but yeah.
Yeah. I guess the Lotus Petal also allows us to use Crop Rotation for one of the basics, so that's another reason to play it out and use it, I guess. But... yeah, Magus is a tough one.
Yeah, we actually probably... Yeah, we should have cropped for Swamp. Yeah, if we had cropped for Swamp, and then we'd be able to decay the Moon, the Magus,
Yep.
and then we'd still have the out to draw the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can concede. Draw a card. Just curious. I won't let you anymore, will I? Oh, it does, okay.
Yeah, it's a tough one. That's just a That's just a pretty simple error by me.
It's a rough start.
And even to
a rough start to a 3-2, you know?
Yeah, you'd hope so. But just like, I think this is a really good example of how small mistakes can snowball, especially in Legacy, and just cause these pretty massive losses.
Yeah, like with this deck, it seems very simple, but those, like, you can discuss a turn for like 2 minutes and still, still not get to the right one.
Yeah, I mean, even thinking of Khan as a planeswalker and just thinking it as being turned off by Pit Needle, but then not taking into consideration it turns off your Lotus Petals, is just something you don't really think about until you're like, wait a second, Lotus Petals now not online. Look, it's good to get the losses out of the way early on, and then hopefully finish on a high.
I usually like to start on all the wins and then.
Yeah, the 3-0 is always nice because then it always just finishes pretty well. You don't have, too much to think about in the last two. Yeah. Yeah, Slate Ups does have a little bit more mid-range to it, which is nice. And cards like Dark Confidant and Sylvan Library are a little bit more seen, which is great as well to make sure that you can keep drawing into gas.
Yeah, so when I played Dark Confidant, I thought that the deck was like the best deck to hand to someone who didn't know how to play the format, because they literally could just spew away all their resources and it wouldn't matter. Like, they could just combo into a plow, but if they had a Dark Confidant in play, like, they'd still be able to win the game.
Yeah, I guess one consideration is flipping Not of This World, which can be a little bit rough, but...
Yeah. You've been playing Turbo to a sub 50% win rate? I think I have a really good win rate with Turbo Depths online, but Slow Depths I have quite a bad win rate with lately.
But yeah, even I think the greatest example is sequencing that Lotus Petal in game 1 instead of the Spirit Guide. It's just like a little thing that you'd probably pick up if you played the deck a lot more.
Yeah, I thought about it and I just was foolishly thinking that it probably wouldn't matter and just didn't stop you. Like, I'm like, it felt like one of those situations where you're like, this is technically correct, but it probably won't matter. You know what, I don't know if you play sloppy. I play a little bit sloppy, and sometimes I'm like, the right thing's this, but it probably won't matter.
It's an interesting hand. Access to both basics, but it's just a slow start.
Yeah, I think I just mold this. Doesn't have any interaction.
Ooh.
This one's a little bit better.
Hex Mage. Yeah, I like this a lot.
It's a little bit awkward on the mana. Like, we can't turn 1 scrying and turn 2 combo, but it's got a needle. I actually am like kind of borderline on this hand.
Needling in the dark is always pretty rough as well.
Yeah, if we knew what our opponent was on, it'd be a little bit better. Because
they're on they're on Goblins.
Oh, they're on Goblins?
Yeah.
Okay. So we could keep this hand and just go turn 1 needle on Wasteland, maybe?
Yeah. We could also keep the needle for Aether Vial if we really wanted to slow them down.
Yeah. I think for the most part, this hand is going to be able to combo turn 3. For the most part, against Goblins, turn 3 on the play is going to be quick enough, right?
Yeah, which usually is pretty good. So I think we just keep this and drop the Krakus.
Yeah. And then we can just play out one of our lands and needle. You can probably fetch for Bayou, right? And then needle.
Yeah. Is there any consideration to... No, I was going to say turn 1 Sylvan Scrying off the Lotus Petal, and then turn 2 we have so much more information for the needle, but that does mean we lose our Lotus Petal.
Yeah, if we had the mana for Hex Mage, then it would be fine, but we actually can't cast Hex Mage without this Lotus Petal. And we want to... The combo that I was thinking we would go for is the Hex Mage Dark Depths, because it's going to be quicker.
Yep, okay. So, Verdant, Bayou, Needle.
Wasteland, yeah.
I'd love to just name Goblin Lackey with like a spare needle. It's just like a play. Because turn 1 Lackey into turn 2 answer for Hexmage is pretty scary.
What's the answers for Hexmage?
Munitions Expert, or something like a... they can't really power out a Chain Whirler, but that's also something they can deal with at Hexmage.
But we're just going to combo that same turn.
So here, I think we go stage into Scrying.
Yeah.
And the next turn, we can play the
because
pedal.
We've kept our pedal, we can combo with either stage or Hexmage.
The other thought is just going Swamp, and then we can cast Hexmage next turn and play Dark Depths.
We can do that with pedal either way. It doesn't really matter which one you play.
I guess
if you play stage now, then you have access to being able to combo with stage if you need to.
That's very true. Maybe so thinking like is Rishton Port going to interact with this? I guess Rishton Port.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I guess Port is a reason to play Swamp out actually, because then if they tap one of the black sources, you can use the pedal for the other black source and the Bayou, cast the Hexmage, and then play the Dark Depths for turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Swamp for sure.
Double black.
Green.
Dark Depths. No reason to cast the Lotus Petal here, so I'm just going to pass. I guess the card I have to really worry about here is is there a way that if we untap, we play Dark Depths, we play Hexmage, we pass, they put in Goblin Lackey, they untap their Munitions Expert, the Hexmage, we make the 20/20, and then they have, I guess it doesn't really matter, they could have Sling Gang to gain some life and then maybe draw into a main deck Caracas. That's probably their only way out of the Marit Lage.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd run... I know the bounce Goblin doesn't see any play any longer, which is nice.
Yeah, obviously there's a few different lists, but if they're I've played against people who haven't even had Caracas, so they've just had no way to enter the 20/20 once the 20/20's been in play. But yeah, they could find a way out of this if they have a Caracas, but without it, I think we're good. Could maybe play out the pedal.
Unbanned Faith is looting. Thank you for the follow. And I agree.
So do I.
Hey Jay, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you guys are from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. I know that Jay plays Depths. There's no reason to make it here.
No, because if they have Caracas, then you just get blown out.
I mean, Skirk is pretty interesting because...
Yeah, they could play Mux next turn. Or they're going to enter the Hexmage now, perhaps.
It looks like they're just turning on a haste Goblin instead of having it an upkeep come in.
So that means they're probably not planning to use the mana next turn?
Unless they're going for a 6-mana Muxus.
Yeah, but I guess there's not much reason to sack the Goblin if that's the case. Like, if they already had land Muxus, like... They probably didn't need to waste their time sacking the Goblin to Prospector. But...
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, but they're
doing something here. Rug Delve and pick up Elves. Well, I hope you got your Cradles early. But if not, it is a very cool card to play with. So, good luck getting... This definitely feels like a Muxus.
Yeah.
Okay. We can just let this resolve. There's a Chain Whirler, so that's going to go on the stack as well. Yeah.
Can Matron search anything up that
yes.
does anything?
Maybe Sling Gang if they can cast it, but it's pretty tough.
They can cast it. Oh, it's black, isn't it?
I think it's a
double black.
It might just be 1 black. I believe it is just 1 black, 3 and 1 black.
Well, they have the Cavern though, so they can definitely cast it if that's the case.
Like Goblin Crater Maker doesn't do anything here, which is great.
Can kill an Emrakul, but can't kill a Merit Lage.
Exactly. I think gaining life is the only way out of it, even just to buy a turn, but then you have to consider what's the play after that. If you're going to go to, 22 life, what's your way out of it the following turn, other than just, like, you can't even attack with everything this turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sting Scourger would be the only out, but I believe Sting Scourger is pretty old tech, and unfortunately for them, doesn't see too much play these days. War Chief. Okay. Going for haste.
We can probably block Muxus, which is nice.
Hey, Walk Deplane, thanks for the Prime sub. A huge thank you. Let me know where you're from. There's Sling Gang, okay. What do you play in Legacy? If you play the Legacy. We also have the backup, which is really nice.
Yeah, the awkward thing is...
Can we just draw Hex Mage? Not
yeah,
of this world.
That.
Okay, that's actually kind of
attack,
nice.
We could be dead.
It'd be a pretty... Because they have to sack at least one creature here.
The other awkward thing is if we had played out Stage instead of Dark Depths.
Yeah.
Which I know we did it for a reason.
Oh,
so
Stage instead of the Swamp. We could.
Yeah, Stage instead of Swamp, sorry. We'd be able to make another 20/20 to block.
Yeah. I think we have to attack. Or else whatever they attack with...
Which they can probably cast from... Well, they can cast it from Vial, right? How much is that just with, like, what's on board? They'd have to sack one Goblin here to gain a life.
Yeah.
It's gain 1, right? Drain? Yeah. So they'll go to 21, down to 1. We'll be at 17. Muxus, if it attacked with just War Chief and what's on board, it's 2, 4, 6, 7, 13, plus War Chief. It's 2 power, right?
Yeah, it's 2 power.
16, and then we'd be dead just to that. I'm not sure how we can win from this spot.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Maybe it's a case of being defensive this turn and just playing Stage.
Yeah, we're dead if we attack is the awkward thing.
Yeah, so they can go to 1. And then everything kind of attacks for an extra 1 because you can just sack it to make us lose a life.
Yeah, plus the War Chief is an extra. Because War Chief's the +1/+1, right?
War Chief is just haste and...
Oh, and Goblins cost less. I get them confused.
Let me check quickly.
I thought Chieftain was the... okay, yeah, I've got them confused. Okay, so War Chief...
Yeah, so here it is.
Lord. Yeah,
no.
I was thinking it was Chieftain.
Okay.
So then 2, 4, 6, 8. Muxus... No, sorry, 2, 4, 6. Muxus is a 7. No, an 8.
Yeah.
So that's 14 plus War Chief is 16. Yeah, so we're still dead.
Yeah. So I think we have to keep it back to block the Muxus.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. What a world. Natural slinging as well. Because they got...
Muxus is such a nightmare.
The War Chief. Yeah, Caracas would have been pretty sweet, I guess.
Yeah, because that would have probably meant that we'd be able to attack.
Is there a world where if they attack with everything next turn, we block this Sling Gang instead of the Muxus?
No, I think we're dead if we do that.
The only thing there is that they have to sack any creatures before damage if they want to use Sling Gang's ability.
Oh, true. Yeah, we might bet. Yeah, but we've got to... Does it trigger itself?
Yeah, you can make it the last one.
We would have to block Muxus because of life total, I'm pretty sure. But we might be dead either way. Because if we don't block Muxus next turn, it's going to be like 8 damage.
Hmm.
I'm not sure we can survive 2 attacks. So if we block Muxus and we take 1, 2, 3 plus 2. Well, I guess they don't have to sack anything if we don't attack. So it'd be 4 plus 2 is 6, and we go down to 12. And then they've got an attack of 2, 4, 6 again, plus the sacking. So we're pretty much dead either way, but blocking Muxus might mean that we get to live if they had no other goblins, but they didn't play land last turn, so...
Yeah, at least next turn we get pretty much a vigilance because of having the second backup of Dark Depths.
Yeah.
But... Here's War Chief. Matron. I wonder if they just get like a second Muxus here.
Yeah, probably, and then sack everything, and then...
Pashalik Mons. Okay, Pashalik
What
Mons
is
is pretty
that?
good. Pashalik Mons is pretty much Goblin Sharpshooter, but a little bit better. So whenever a Pashalik Mons or another Goblin you control dies, it deals 1 damage to any target.
Yeah, I know.
So it works really well with Sling Gang.
I've only ever seen that card when I'm dead, so didn't pay too much attention. You're dead? Yeah, we are dead.
Pretty much.
No, because they can just sack post-combat and play the thing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, even if we block the Sling Gang here. Might as well see... Yeah, because even if we block here, they sack itself. We lose 1, go to 17. We then take 10, going to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Yeah. We can then swing for 20, but they've already gained life, so...
Yeah. Goblins, hey?
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Duress could probably come out. Duress doesn't have too many targets outside of Aether Vial.
Yeah.
I don't mind Decay, but maybe collect
Yeah,
Oof is...
Decay's good.
Oof is interesting because it's also just a blocker for Lackey, which could be relevant.
Yeah. The only thing is, when I don't think we're going to be taking out any petals. So I would probably bring in Decays, and
Can probably drop another Sword. At least.
Another Sword's not great.
Unless they play Crackers, maybe I should keep 1 or 2.
Yeah, maybe not get rid of all of them.
Unless Safekeeper is just better. Safekeeper does die to Chain Whirler, but it again does block Lackey, which is pretty nice.
Yes. The other... So we're at 59 cards.
We could do something like this and then take out the Bog.
Yeah, the Oof just feels a little bit awkward without taking any petals out. That's the only thing.
Okay.
But, might be fine. Because we have needles for Vial. We have 4 needles to name, Wasteland Vial or whatever.
Very true.
So I kind of don't want to, put us in an awkward situation where we get got, essentially.
I don't mind
I don't think
Library.
Library's good because there's too much pressure.
Okay.
I think I'd rather have just, Bog or Not of This World in the deck. Out of all those cards.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what they would bring in, and if they would bring in anything else to justify Force of Vigor. I don't believe they usually play, sometimes
They
Pithy
don't play
Needle.
Blood Moon or anything, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, the tough thing is we don't have too much to bring in.
Yeah. None of This World or Bog. I would just leave one of those in the deck.
Maybe it's just going to be Bog. There has been a reanimate version of Goblins floating around, which is pretty funny. Alright.
Okay, it said bring in 2 Decay, 2 Safekeeper, take out 2 Duress, 1 Not of This World, 1 Bog.
Sadly not really the hand we're looking for.
No, I think that's a mole.
Double Hex Mage and one part of the combo?
With a needle too.
Yeah.
I kind of don't hate this hand, but it's definitely close.
There are some pretty nice draws.
Sorry?
There's some pretty nice draws in like Crop Rotation, Dark Depths,
Yeah.
Sylvan Scrying.
Because the main way of interacting with us is Wasteland. So we can shut that off. And then, like, we have 2 Hex Mages, like, one can block.
Yep.
At the start of the game. This depends whether you think they're going to be able to kill us before we draw Dark Depths. I think it might be fine to keep this hand and just put back a land.
Probably Ghost Quarter.
I was kind of thinking Ghost Quarter answers the Caracas. Or you could put back Hex Mage. I'd probably put back either Hex Mage or Stage, I think. Because we got Needle for Wasteland. We need a green source.
Yep.
You need second black source to be able to cast a Hex Mage because we have 2, so we can't put 2 back. And then you could keep either Stage or Hex Mage as the other card.
Cool. So just, I think Urborg, Needle, Wasteland, and then untap probably Thespian Stage, Hex Mage, just to hold the green source in case we don't draw a green card, and then it also means we have 2 ways to make the Dark Depths.
Yeah.
If we draw to Dark Depths the following turn. But yeah, I think traditionally Goblins are a pretty good matchup. Sling Gang really changing things with the way you can do combat math.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close a lot of the time, but favored to depths. Like, you're probably going to be quicker most of the time.
I have named, that's it. I named Wasteland Strangler before with a Pithy Needle instead of Wasteland. It was not fun.
Lucky,
Yeah.
hey.
See, lacking into Munitions Expert's pretty scary. Scrying. Okay. Well, then we want to go Bayou.
Hex Mage.
Yeah, so then next turn we can go Sylvan Scrying for Dark Depths.
Yeah. If you play... Okay, yeah. I was going to say, if you play the Stage and... Oh, no, that doesn't work. Yeah, it's fine.
Just gotta hope they don't have Munitions Expert. Oh, okay.
Wasteland.
That's good for us.
Yeah.
Oh, Needle.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be
fine.
Yeah, that's more than fine.
They'll name Hex Mage. At least we can still block with it.
Yeah. And the Wasteland means they can't have Chain Whirler next turn either, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Thoughtseize is pretty sweet.
Yeah, so we
Thoughtseize
can
and
scry for
Scrying?
Depths and then Thoughtseize if you want to play the Depths this turn. Or you can just play out another land. But I mean, we're going to show them that we have Depths, so we might as well scry for Depths and then Thoughtseize. Because we're going to scry either way and get the Dark Depths.
So I guess there's
So they're going to see that we have it. So we might as well play the land for turn as the Dark Depths just to conceal a bit more information.
Yeah, okay. Depths. Thoughtseize.
Crater Maker. Okay, so we
Crater
might
Maker,
take that. But
yeah, that's an interesting one. It does deal with the
Needle. Because Trash Master does too, right? But it's 4 mana. That's what Trash Master does, yeah.
No, it sacks artifacts.
Yeah, destroys artifacts. Deals with the Needle.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
And same with the Crater Maker.
So I think we take the Crater Maker because it's a way for Lackey to actually connect.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they're only drawing one card here as well, there's not anything else they can draw into other than like Tarfire, which usually just doesn't see play.
Yeah.
So I think Crater Maker is just the easy take here.
Yeah. When I was saying the Crater Maker deals, I meant with the Needle specifically.
Yeah.
Like either way, they can kill the Hex Mage and then put Trash Master into play that way or whatever. But okay.
It's gonna be fine.
This is fine because we can yeah, we can just make the 20/20 on our turn, so that they can't draw land to Trash Master.
I mean, if they draw land and tap out for Trash Master, we can just respond.
True.
And at least that means they can't draw into Caracas. Pashalik ones. That is going to be fine.
Yeah. You can just make it now.
Sometimes it's just a little bit too easy.
Yeah, that's how this deck feels like when you win. Usually you're just like, your opponent couldn't do anything.
This is going to be a little bit more scary on the draw because of Goblin Lackey.
Yeah.
Even something like Elvish Reclaimer isn't safe because of Munitions Expert. But I think on the draw there's no real changes that we want to make.
Oh yeah, it's just whether you think Safekeeper's better than Not of This World. That's the main thing. Because like, they can answer a Safekeeper on board. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah. The one reason that I
I'm
do
just
like
not sure.
Safekeeper is that it is a turn
It
one
can
play
block
against Lackey.
I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that seems good. Yeah, maybe just run it back.
Do you ever have thoughts of bringing in Surgical just to see their deck?
Not really.
No.
Like, against...
I'm definitely not
slow-
saying it's a good strategy.
Against the slow decks like Snow and things like that, having the information is pretty valuable. So it's not the worst, but you know, if your card's not doing anything, starting off with one less card doesn't really achieve much.
Yeah, exactly. It's always interesting when someone brings in Surgical against Maverick and takes out like Swords to Plowshares, because usually I don't have a Swords in hand and you're going down a card. You do get the information of what's in my deck, but it usually isn't worth it.
Against Swords specifically for this, so I think in general as a rule for Magic, people bring in Surgical way too much, and if it's not against a deck that Surgical is specifically good against, it's usually the wrong decision. But for this deck, taking out Swords can be huge. Like if their only answer they have to a 20/20 that's been made is Swords, and then you're able to cut that out, it can be a pretty big deal.
Yep, definitely.
This hand is a mulligan, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
It doesn't really do anything. We only have one land, so the crop's not doing anything.
Yeah.
You can scrying, but then like, what are you achieving? This hand's fine. It's got Thoughtseize. We can't enter a wasteland very quickly, but you've got Thoughtseize and you've got a turn 3 combo with the paddle.
Yeah. So at least we don't have an answer to Goblin Lackey, but maybe we can take their best card with Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
So I think we just drop the second crop.
I think.
Because it allows us to No, it doesn't allow us to combo earlier. I guess it does if we draw another free mana source.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way that we want to win.
So turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2. Yeah, we need all our lands.
It also means if we draw Needle, we can cast both Needle and Thoughtseize turn 1.
Do we need all our lands if we have the pedal? So turn 1, say we play Bayou and Thoughtseize. Turn 2, we play Stage. Turn 3, if we crop away, yeah. Yeah, I guess put back crop.
So there is a consideration to drop the Forest, because if we go turn 1 Bayou, Thoughtseize, Pedal, if they then try to wasteland us aggressively, we can crop it away and then still have a second crop for Dark Depths.
Yeah. So if we keep 2 lands, so you're saying keep 2 lands?
Yep. But
have be a land away. It might be fine to keep 2 lands pedal.
Maybe 2 crop is just too greedy.
I mean, the second crop's probably going to be good in a lot of situations. but we do have to. We're on the draw as well, so if we keep 2 lands, we just need to draw land by like turn 3.
Yep. Rick saying get rid of Petal. I think Petal turns on so many things.
Yeah, I kind of like the Petal.
It's also our second black source if we want it, outside of crop rotation for black source. The nice thing about the second crop though is that it does something against Wasteland.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because Wasteland's the card that we care about the most.
Yeah.
I kind of don't mind getting rid of a land. You should be able to draw one by like turn 3.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna drop Forest. And hope. I would love to see an Eighth of Owl start from my opponent.
Yeah, we don't want Lackey on 1. Are they thinking about 6 cards, or have they kept 6 cards? They kept 6.
They kept 6, yeah, so it's turn 1. Hey Rick, hope you're well. How's your weekend been?
Dude?
Hey Snoopy Magic and Luane T, thanks for the follows. A huge thank you. Let me know where you guys are from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. This is a deck that I think if you play regularly, it can be really rewarding, because unfortunately I think a few of the mistakes that I've made is
Needle. Okay,
just from not playing the deck too often.
Yeah, like, I mean, I could have pulled you up on a couple of things as well, so I'm not going to let you take the whole blame.
I guess, like, I have the keyboard and mouse, so I am making plays maybe before I should.
Yeah, it's so weird that I, like, view Magic completely differently when I'm not the one with the cards or the mouse in hand.
Mogwashel here, and then next turn we can take the Matron.
Yeah, next time we can Thoughtseize again and see either Matron or something.
Gonna play this because of the crops.
What would their land, sorry?
Cavern and Bloodstained Mire. Yeah, Tom nailed it on the head there with the deck has a lot of razor thin margin wins and is very punishing when we make mistakes. And I think, again, the Lotus Petal play was just a very good sign of that.
Another thing too is the turn where we played around Port, and then we could have won if we didn't, like if we had played out the stage. It's like,
yeah,
turns like that are so hard to quantify as to whether or not they were correct or incorrect.
Yeah, exactly. I think here we just passed because we drew the Elvish Spirit Guide for crop rotation, so we have the combo up, so we might as well just allow them to tap out for Matron if they want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that might have been fine, Rick, as well.
So, what about upkeep, play around Wasteland? It doesn't...
The concern is the Caracas, but...
To be fair, the Caracas isn't a card that we've seen, so we're not too sure if they play Caracas.
Yeah. It's just that, okay, so if we don't play around Caracas and they Caracas us, we're gonna lose, right?
Mm.
If they play a Wasteland and they don't play anything for turn, we can probably still win that game. Like, if they play a Wasteland and they're not playing their Matron or whatever, it allows us, once we draw another land, to be able to get a Ghost Quarter.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And there's no real threat on the board right now, so...
Yeah.
Pretty happy with this. And there's Caracas, so...
They are more likely to get Waste than Caracas, but I think for the reason that I just stated, it's fine to wait.
Yeah.
Because if they do have that Caracas, we threw away a game that we could have won.
Sling Gang. A little bit too slow for my opponent, unfortunately. Because here we can exile this for a green, crop away this, go and get Dark Depths, sack this, copy Dark Depths, keep the copied version, and we are on the board, James. How does it feel?
Feels good.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. We're still only 1-2. I believe we can get the 3-2.
Yeah, I do feel that, hey Jack, thanks for the 7 month. That's very nice. I hope you're well. Did Did you play a challenge last night, or did you play just a league last night? I was watching Phil at Thraben University, and I saw he played against you at some point on the new weird combo deck that's playing like Stifle, Show and Tell, a few other things. The mana looks very interesting because it's also playing Lotus Field.
Oh, I like that card.
He canned you? Yeah, that's pretty tough. Are you playing Doomsday? Okay. Doomsday seems like another deck that's pretty rewarding the more time you put into it.
Yeah, that's actually my second favorite deck in the format.
Double depths, but nothing really else.
It's easier than you think. I think Doomsday is easy to win in the games where your opponents aren't really interacting with you, and extremely hard to win when they could have a possibility of like 4 different interaction pieces. This hand's pretty easy mull though.
Yeah, I was just thinking that it has the mana to find things, but I don't think it's where we really want to be.
Yeah, like we're not interacting and we only have 1 piece of the combo.
Oh. Keep and drop
Yeah.
bottom the second depths.
Yeah, I think on the play this is fine to keep. We just got the turn 2. And just lead on Urborg, I guess. Doomsday got a lot easier with Oracle. Yeah. So yeah, when we're looking at hands, most of the time you want to be looking for how quick can you combo and are you interacting. So if a hand only has like 1 piece of the combo and it's not interacting, then it's pretty much always going to be a mulligan. This deck again. Okay. Oh no, I thought it was
This looks like mono blue
deck for a second. It's the mono blue deck, right?
It does look like it. So
Or
something like an
white
Echo
deck.
would be a little bit annoying.
Chalice on 1, okay.
Yeah, that's going to be fine. I do like Jay's argument there that I was kind of thinking of as well, that you could bottom the swamp instead of the second depths and lead on depths.
Yeah, that could be fine, because
Then you don't
waste it.
Yeah, you probably care a little bit more about losing your Urborg.
Yeah.
But now we're in a pretty nice position of just Dark Depths into Hexmage. Oh, that's pretty cool as well. Yeah, I didn't think of the interaction between Vampire Hexmage and Chalice, and actually turning off the ability for them to cast their 0 mana spells. But I think here it's just going to be a pretty easy Hexmage pass.
Yeah.
If I was really scared, I could do the Chalice play, but I think in game 1 where I'm just trying to win this turn, we should be okay.
Yeah, I think because like they're probably not going to be able to do much against 2020 this turn. Like they don't often completely spin their wheels in one turn like this, like without having much in play. Yeah, if needed, we do have the stage to make the 2020 next turn.
There's Emery. Emery's going to be fine. Urza. Chalice. I think they wanted to hit a Echo there and try to maybe LED into an Echo, but
yeah,
that didn't happen. This is a matchup where I really like Force of Vigor.
Yeah, of course. Decay is maybe fine too, because they will have bridge, right?
Yeah, I do like Surgical because that's a great way to interact with what they're trying to do.
Yeah, Surgical might be fine. Oh, oof! Did you already put that in the deck?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think? Leyline instead of Surgical.
I think Leyline definitely has an argument to be in the list.
I think Leyline might be better than Surgical.
It does hit their whole yard. And of course, if they go, LED Echo, you can't respond to that with a Surgical. There's no point where you can, so...
Whereas if you have this, it shuts it off. What do we want to take out? Not of this world doesn't do anything, right?
I don't believe so. I think that Not's pretty easy to take out. I don't believe they'll play a bounce effect.
Yeah, probably take that out.
I like the Bog. I like Caracas because of Urza.
Yeah. So
Something
maybe
like
don't take it.
Elvish Reclaimer is a little bit meh.
Yeah. What? So in terms of lands, we have Bog, Steppe, Caracas. Can we take out Steppe? Do you think?
Does Urza's creatures get flying? No, they don't. I don't believe they
No.
have any flyers in the deck. So,
Not unless they play Sai.
maybe Sai?
But
Maybe
it's
that's the
colorless anyway.
other
So
creatures not.
Steppe
Okay,
doesn't
yeah.
stop it.
Yep.
I'm just thinking we probably want Decay too,
Yeah.
because it can, yeah, kill a lot of different things. And then to take out, we take out Not of This World. What about
Maybe some number of
how
petal
many
because of
needles
Oof.
do we want?
So Needle, you have Khan, you have Emery,
Yeah,
Urza,
needle might be pretty good.
maybe
What about
Petal.
two petals? Yeah, because
I
we've
mean,
got
that's
Oof as well.
yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, I
this
kind of
looks
like that.
pretty nice.
I was just thinking, do you want Mind Break Trap?
Yeah,
I know
Trap's an
we've hit
interesting
it,
card,
but
especially if they try to go off very early on. Maybe it's better than like one of these, because imagine if one of these was Mindbreak Trap. I probably wouldn't keep it because it doesn't have any black mana, but
Jay has the sideboard guide link. I actually think Romario sent it to me too.
yeah, I've got it as well. I just don't have it up.
Yeah.
I think it says a mulligan. It doesn't do anything unfair, and it doesn't really. We can't cast our spells
Yeah, I
outside
think
of
that's a
Needle.
mulligan.
I do like this hand because of the Force.
Yeah.
I think the Force is
This
really
hand
solid in
seems
this
good.
matchup.
What do we put back? Needle, maybe?
Yeah, it's an interesting one,
'Cause
especially.
I don't really want to put away guide.
Mm. Yeah, my thought was also Duress, because if they do play turn 1 Khan, which is something they definitely can, Needle is a pretty nice out.
Okay, I'm happy to put back Duress. We have a Thoughtseize, so
The question is, if we do want to force on their turn, what are we exiling to force?
probably Crop, I think. Unfortunate. Actually, I think there's probably not a world where we have to force turn 1, right? So we can probably wait, and it depends what it is. Like if it's a Chalice on 1, most of the time we can wait and see if we draw lands. Is it just Chalice? Oh, so we might want to force.
I guess we'll see what else they play, because there is
Yeah, there's no rush, right?
some consideration just being a little bit patient here, even though we do have a hand of one mana
Yeah.
spells. Do they play any counter magic? I don't think they play Force of Will.
They play Force in the sideboard, but So what do they have that's... I'm trying to remember the list, because I played this deck a little bit as well. And there's cards that are bad. Like, there's cards that are cuts easily, which Sai is one of them, but you don't want to cut Sai against us. We
Yeah.
drew second crop, so that's a pretty easy thing to get rid of.
Mm.
They have Force in the board and they bring it in. What would they take out, Rick? This is Khan.
Chalice for
Oh, no,
2.
Chalice on 2.
That's gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So we can picture a crop, I think.
Yep. I'm more than happy to do that. And then they're down to 4 cards, which is kind of nice. So Force, hitting these two, pitching the crop. Okay. Just gonna get a Bayou here.
Yeah. Narset, true. Yeah, they could take out some Narsets, maybe. Although they probably do want to be having the fast draws against us a lot of the time, so I'm unsure. Okay, the hand's nothing.
Yeah.
Probably
LED.
just take Ellie.
Yeah, it's a massive enabler for Echo. And I think we just pass. There's no real need to be aggressive
No.
here with Spirit Guide and Needle.
No.
They're going to cast a Lotus Petal, that's fine.
Will we play Island?
Yeah, they're going to play the Island. Okay. Urza.
Urza?
Narset. Okay.
Narset.
That's not the worst.
Hopefully we draw land and we can Thoughtseize whatever it is that they take and then Needle the Narset. Did they whiff?
I think they did. Let's quickly
Well, they
check.
did. The hand's Island.
Yeah.
one card, and it's not snow covered island. It's island. It doesn't really matter. Scrying. So do you like? So we can either just needle the Narset and then ship the turn.
Yeah, the issue with Narset is that once they get Echo online, it's rough. But I don't really worry about it otherwise.
Yeah, they can't Echo at the moment. Their hand is just island. So if we needle it, it does stop them from being able to draw one piece and Narset into the second piece.
Yep.
Otherwise, you can hope that they whiff. Like they're probably not. Yeah, so you can hope that they whiff on the Narset. In terms of whiff, I mean just like not hit anything good, and you could guide scrying into stage or something. But I think we're probably better off just needling.
The card that I'm thinking of is Khan. So they have a land in hand for 4 mana, and then they could have a Khan in the top 5, being a Druin, and a Khan is pretty good against us if we use the needle on Narset. But I guess that does stop them from being able to look for Khan.
Yeah, because like this gives them one draw step. The higher upside is scrying that out. Yeah, but as Dukes just said, they also could just play Khan and gain advantage of that. Because if we scrying for stage now, and then we draw land next turn, we still can't combo. Like we're still a bit away from comboing. We need unless we find Urborg on the top.
The best thing about scrying and crop as well is as the game goes on and we draw one piece of the combo, we know which part to go for.
Oh wait, we can scrying for stage and then needle the thing anyway. Scrying for stage and then needle. Oh yeah, that's what Jatesh just said.
Jatesh, always with the lines.
I got to it just before chat said.
Hello, Jatesh. Looking forward to seeing you next week. That should be very cool. Okay, let's go get stage. Mainly because we can now cast this needle, and it's I think it's worth it. It's kind of just saying needle is on par with the card you're probably going to find from the Narset.
Yeah. And if they're not echoing us this turn, after this turn, even if they echo us and put us down to one card or whatever, it's not doing much to our hand. Like if we draw land next turn and then like our hand's pretty much empty anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if we draw Urborg, we've pretty much got it, which is nice.
If you believe in the heart of the cards hard enough, dude, it'll come to the top.
I like the emote there. Opponent with 2 cards, one being that island, and one being a thinker.
So what would they have here that they wouldn't just slam? Because like pretty much any of their spells, they're just casting, right?
Yeah, and I don't believe they have any reason to hold lands. There's no brainstorm in the deck.
Yeah.
So
Chalice could be a thing, as Rick just said. They could be thinking 1 versus 2.
Yep.
I think if I'm opponent in this spot and I have Chalice, I'm gonna put it on 1 because we already have a stage.
Yeah, so Hexmage isn't that big of a deal. Then there's also the case that if we're already so down on cards, then it is Khan. They found it. Wow.
Just get LED. Yeah. So we need to draw Urborg now because they can lattice us next turn.
Yep.
So Urborg on needle.
And maybe this was a reason to go for needle on Khan.
Yeah, we could have preemptively needled the Khan maybe, and then just let them have the look with Narset. I'm not sure. But yeah, we can just play stage and say go. I'm sure they're just getting lattice, but
rough. Because we even discussed Khan and how much it impacts this game.
Yeah. I personally, I like needling the Narset in that spot because like Khan isn't the only thing that they could find
Yeah.
that would be rough for us. Like they could have also, found the LED echo type stuff. Like just stop it. Like letting your opponent have one card versus looking at five
It's pretty huge.
seems worth it to me in a game that's gonna end in a few turns. But if they reveal Lattice, you can just you can just concede.
Yeah, because Force of Vigor doesn't do anything now either.
No, unfortunately. Sideboarding's fine, right?
Yeah, I still...
Mind Break Trap?
I was thinking of it, but I think on the draw, I rather it. But on the play, I do like having these.
Yeah.
And it would probably be either 2 Inquisition or... Sorry, it would probably be the 2 Inquisition that I'll trade out for the Mind Break Trap on the draw.
You have to spend the needle thoughts on naming Khan because that's what you're most scared of. Yeah. The reason why I like naming Narset is just because if you name Khan, then they're able to just not take the Khan with the Narset activation and take something else that could impact the game, but I'm unsure.
Yeah, it's a
I think
tough
this
one.
is fine. Just run it back.
Yeah. What do you think of Lattice being removed from Modern? Do you think that's fair, or do you think that most decks have a deck building constraint that it's kind of fair in a way?
I mean, I'm kind of biased because I liked playing like the prison decks and like most artifact decks. Like Khan is a card that I enjoy, and I felt like it was fine. But I mean, most of the strategies like that aren't fun for your opponent. I think is a big reason why they took it out. And maybe with Tron specifically, it's too strong. Like giving Tron access to be able to Lattice is maybe not fair.
Yeah.
I think in the other decks it was probably fair, but maybe with Tron specifically, it's not.
Yeah.
With this hand, I think we have to mulligan, unfortunately, because we don't have fast mana and we don't have black mana.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we have force, but I don't think we can just keep a hand on the back of a force.
No. This would be next to perfect if this was a Urborg. So you go turn 1 Thoughtseize, hold up force, and then turn 2, yeah.
Well, you can turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 combo, yeah.
Oh. This has one piece of the combo, and we also have Leyline, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, it's medium as well, but I think it's okay to keep because we have either force or like we have fast mana as well.
Yep.
The issue is if we're forcing, we don't have any combo pieces, but on 6 cards.
I think we just keep in bottom of the bayou because we can find it with a Verdant.
Yeah.
Jutesh is saying, is Library better than Leyline? That's a pretty interesting one because it would feel pretty bad if you play Library and they play Narset. But
yeah, that's true.
Maybe there's a world where just the ability to play it on turn 1 or 2 and then perhaps beat out a Narset and actually gain some advantage off it.
In this hand it is. Yeah, kinda. Depends what your opponent's hand is.
I'm going to play out the pedal here as well.
Yeah. I mean, we're probably not getting echoed, but yeah.
Turn 1 Library and Pray, yeah, that's fair enough. So Leyline nice because it does turn off the Echo line. It does also make Emery a little bit worse. I think they're the main 2 cards. Don't worry about the graveyard.
Yeah, it's just Echo and Emery. Because the other important cards are just Urza, Khan, Narset.
Ooh, okay. This is interesting because if they play like a Chalice here... Oh, they have the LED, okay. There is a line where we can actually destroy the seat with force.
Yeah.
But only if they play something else. Yeah. See, if we draw a green card here... Okay.
Guide.
Is there a world where upkeep we just take out 2 mana sources?
Interesting.
Because what I'm probably scared of is like next turn Soul Land Khan, upkeep, LED, and seat. Yeah, that's pretty good as well. Leave the pedal.
But,
So I think we're definitely playing Urborg.
yeah.
And then we're keeping scrying, and we're going to hold it until we find, hopefully, one piece of the combo. Either Hexmage,
then
Stage,
the
or...
other one.
Yeah.
I'm just unsure if we should target the LED or the pedal, because LED can be kind of rough for them, right? Like, if they don't have a... Yeah, like what you just said, just LED do much. Like,
Yeah. I think
they have to
LED...
discard their hand.
I guess they don't have to use it in upkeep, which I assume they have nothing for. And the only reason we really care about LED with Leyline out is if they do go Khan, and then they're just closer to Lattice the following turn.
Yeah, I think it's probably better to take the 2 mana sources that are in play.
Yeah, that actually do something.
Because that puts them further away from being able to play something before they can use the LED.
Yeah, cool. I wonder if they have, like, Echoing Truth here. Yeah.
They do.
That's probably okay.
Yes. So then now maybe we will target...
These two?
Yeah.
I don't mind that. It also turns off Mox Opal, which is quite nice.
Yeah. So it does look like they probably were going for LED Echo.
Yeah. So one thing I could do here is exile the Sylvan Scrying if I wanted the 4th mana for Leyline, but I think because there's such a good upside of drawing into a land and also holding the Sylvan Scrying, we're still just going with...
amount, like we've answered an LED and all these mana sources too, I think it might be better to just keep our own resources so that we're not falling behind.
Yeah.
They could have second LED, but it wouldn't even be that bad if it's just LED Echo.
Yeah, exactly. Be pretty happy with that. And just a pass. So if we can find Duck Depths... Oh, if we can find Hexmage here, that'd be sweet. Pedal. Is it just Pedal Hardcast Leyline?
So we have Urborg, so we don't really need these extra mana sources, I don't think.
Yeah.
So I think it might be fine just to play the Leyline. The only line where it matters is if we draw Hexmage next turn, but...
Yeah, that's true. At least Hexmage is also a nice out to Khan if they do get it online.
Yeah.
Inquisition. I probably like scrying for... Probably Depths here, because then... So if we scry for Depths and then use Depths to cast Inquisition, Depths is also turned on by both Hexmage and Stage, but if we get Stage is only turned on by Dark Depths.
Yeah.
Dark Depths. Play this.
See what they have.
Oof. Oh, they had the truth,
so
but they didn't have the mana for it. Interesting. They could have played Chalice for 0, which would have been pretty bad for them. I think here it is just the Echoing Truth. Because
definitely.
Because the Emeries are kind of locked out by Leyline, which is nice, and Chalice isn't doing anything here.
Yeah. The Emery does still have access to the LED in the bin, but... So the hands, Emery,
Chalice.
They didn't play Emery, yeah, which is weird.
Chalice.
So we can't crop now, but everything else is still good.
Technically, we can crop. It just won't do anything.
We can cast crop, but we can't crop.
Yeah.
If it was paper, however, we might be able to crop.
Interesting. Yeah, so they milled Island, Urza, Lotus Petal, Psy.
Psy is actually a nightmare for us. Because the 1/1s are colorless.
Ooh.
Right. We're still a turn away, but that's okay. We can cast this. So last card in hand is Emery, is that right?
Yes.
So they kind of need another Echoing Truth.
But even then we have to...
Oh,
yeah.
Psy.
Or Khan off the top, I guess, isn't really the greatest because of... I guess they could Khan for They could Khan for a bridge. Or Needle, I guess? Okay, so they
LED.
drew LED. That's interesting. They're getting back LED. Oh, okay.
So yeah, so they have the out of Khan next turn. Needle would be probably our best draw.
But they have Chalice. Oh, they have Chalice, but so we have to
forgot
just
about
pass
it.
back.
If
Alright.
it was paper.
One turn.
This Needle was so resolving. Nice curse. Yeah, I did that.
They have one draw.
Last paper event I played, I resolved a Needle against a Chalice on one.
Nice. Interesting. This is fine.
The 4th land for a Khan. Oh, I guess they had 2 anyway, so they could have already cast it. But
Yes.
that's good
There we go.
I told you, this deck
Nice.
never does worse than a 3-2, dude. We have to win the next one.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to the bathroom. I'll bring
Yeah,
up
that's all good.
the deck list if you want to talk over it, and I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, so if you do enjoy this deck and you would like to see me play it more, you can follow my Twitch as well, WheresWolfe. I'll pop some emotes in the chat so you can find me easily. You literally 2-3 with this deck all the time? No way, dude. This has like been a mediocre performance for the deck, I feel. It pretty much never 2-3s for me. I don't know, I just find that a lot of the times, most decks you play against, you have a way to win the game. As you've seen, I think we could be 4-0 right now if we had played the game slightly better. Black-green Thoughtseize decks only break even. This black-green Thoughtseize deck isn't like other black-green Thoughtseize decks though, because we have a combo as well, Rick, which is why it's much better. You're finally signing up for a rental program because you're so off it right now. Not everyone is as good as me. I mean, all you have to do is cast a Thoughtseize and then make a 20/20. Doesn't even have Tarmogoyf. Yeah, that's why it's good, Rick.
Hey Jay, if you want to support the channel, you can use my code below for Card Hoarder to rent cards from. If you would like to support the channel. All right, let's take a deep breath and go for this 3-2, which would be nice to finish on. I think the as you said, the 2 games earlier, I think if we just thought it out a little bit more, we could have definitely been at 4-0.
Yeah, definitely. I think the 4-1 that I got the other day could have been a 5-0 as well if I had played slightly better. I didn't go back and review it, but at the end of the game, I know I'd made a couple of mistakes, so I was like, I'm unsure if we would have been able to get the 5-0 as well with that. But yeah, it's definitely a deck that would do very well at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's pretty sweet. What would your thoughts be of Dark Depths being unbanned in Modern?
I think it's too good. I've thought about it. I think it would be too good. Like, turn 2 2020 is pretty powerful for Modern. There's not a lot of ways to answer it. Like, if someone makes a 2020 on your end step, the only real ways are like Path.
Yeah. What about can Archmage's Charm get it?
Archmage's Charm is take control of something with exactly 1 mana cost, I think. Is that the card? Like, you gain control?
Gain control of target non-land permanent with good mana cost.
Okay, yeah, it can take it.
So you wouldn't have crop rotation. You wouldn't have Lotus Petal or Elvish Spirit Guide. You wouldn't have Caracas. So it would be a watered down version, but you still do have
the. You could play it in a fair deck, maybe.
Yeah, you could play it even as, you know, you still have the really good turn of turn 1 Thoughtseize off Urborg, turn 2 Hexmage Go.
Yeah.
So this is actually turn 1 Urborg, turn 2 Floater Black, play Hexmage, and then we have Elvish Spirit Guide for crop rotation with None of this World back up. Is this too all in?
I think it's fine.
We have some nice draws.
Like, if I can combo, most hands if I can combo on turn 2, I'll keep it. I won't keep hands that aren't comboing before turn 2 without interaction, but...
Because one card that I think is is past its like powerful stages in Modern is Green Sun Zenith. I think Green Suns would be a sweet card.
So personally, I actually think you can unban. Like people would disagree. I think you can unban looting. I think you can unban Green Sun Zenith. I think you can unban. Well, I'm not. Well, you can unban. I think you can unban Mox Opal. And then I think you can also unban Twin and Pod at this point. But I can definitely see why people would disagree.
James, this is a Modern format that I'm very excited about. It sounds a lot better.
If you're not going to unban Mox, you should give me KCI back. Like, if I can't have Mox, I can have KCI.
Oh, we have someone Forces as well.
We just drew the best card in the deck.
Oof. Okay.
Whoa.
Ah. Okay.
Is it just Wish?
I think it is just Wish. Otherwise, it's just mana.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just Wish.
Jay, it mustn't. But thank you very much for trying anyway. That is really appreciated. Yeah, I think here Wish is just the payoff, so I think that's actually a great draw that we had.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's pretty much the best draw we could have. I actually was thinking that it might have been like Delver or something.
Yeah, same. I was thinking Delver or Sneak. They're playing out these, which is kind of scary, because usually you keep it for Storm. So they obviously drew something pretty good here.
Ooh.
Black. Echo. Okay.
My first event that I ever played, Legacy. Oh, they got Echo. Okay, they're just echoing us. Our good hand, though. Please, opponent.
Yeah. There's nothing that we want to do in response, is there? Like, is there any reason to crop for Bog here, just to take these cards out of being stop them from being shuffled back in? Like
That's
taking
really interesting.
taking out 2 LEDs seems interesting, but I'm not sure if it's worth us losing those cards to draw back into.
Do they play anything else that's going to interact with the graveyard? Like, they have a lot of mana already, so I don't think the Threshold ritual matters at this point.
Yeah, I think the only card that interacts with the graveyard in game 1 is Rider Flame, but...
Yeah, maybe just let it happen. Real Cheap thinks we're on Adepts in play, but I'm unsure about that. Just float mana, that's true. We could float green.
Yeah, float green's pretty interesting.
Those cards.
Yeah, so if we float green, they get exiles. They don't get put back in, but yeah,
graveyard always gets shuffled. There's no point of Bog.
Yeah, my only reasoning for Bog was that if those cards are powerful enough that they actually want to draw back into them, is it worth taking that chance away from them? But I think we just let this resolve.
In the graveyard are a lot of air.
Okay. I mean, if we survive a turn, we have an okay hand.
If we survive 7 cards in hand, 6 mana. Yeah, the first Legacy event I played D&T, and I played against Jesse on Storm, and he killed me turn 1. I went land, go, had a Thalia in my hand. I went land, go, and he's just like, kill you. I was like, cool, this format is fun.
Nice. We do have some good cards here in the sideboard. We have Mindbreak Traps. I don't think Surgical does a whole lot against Tess. The Forces are interesting, especially if they're playing Defense Grid, but if they put us on green-black, they might not worry about Defense Grid because they probably just think we only have hand disruption.
Yeah.
I think it's
probably would.
Traps and Collector Oof is probably
Oof's
where I want to
really
be.
Good. Oof's like one of the best cards against the decks now. Yeah, we're probably going to want the Mindbreak Traps, I think.
100%.
So, Mindbreak Traps, Surgicals, maybe, depending on what we can take out. Oof and Forces.
What are you looking to Surgical in this matchup?
And just after you Thoughtseize something, like you can Surgical or... Yeah, just depending, like... It's not a specific thing. Like, if you can Thoughtseize, like, Tendrils or whatever, then it might be okay, but...
Yeah.
Usually just, like, thought seizing a card and then taking cards from the hand or something.
Reaple Cheap says, I have been turn 1 killed by Ant through a chalice on 1. I've been killed through a chalice on 0. I didn't really understand what Veil of Summer did the first time that I read it, and then they just started casting their Lotus Petals and LEDs, and I was like, oh, okay, they can't be counted. That's pretty cool. GG's. Damo says, chalice for 0 or 2. Ah, a man of... What's the... No, I forgot it. But
You're just dead, right? Great.
Yeah, unfortunately had a pretty good hand, but the top deck was pretty sweet.
Again, this is a similar matchup where I think oftentimes we're slightly faster than them, but yeah, reclaim is not good.
Is it just something like I guess Caracas, like this?
Caracas, Not of This World, Reclaimer.
Surgical I wouldn't usually think of, but with hand disruption I can definitely see the appeal.
Yeah, I like Surgical in this match. Like against a lot of the combo decks, I like Surgical.
I think it's just doing Surgical is doing more than the cards that we're taking out.
Yeah, yeah. I think Force is good too. And we can just take out like
Leyline is better.
Sylvan Scrying, maybe. Have we taken out Caracas?
Force, yeah, Force is an interesting one, especially if we can hit a like a Wish Claw without them having mana for it.
Yeah. Last card. I don't really want to take out any mana. I don't want to take out any hand disruption. I think it's between...
Oh,
we're at 60.
What about Needles? Needles not doing much outside of
Yeah,
Wish
I was going
Claw?
to say, I thought we needed to cut another card. I was going to... Oh, you've taken the Surgicals out, right?
Yeah.
Choosing the other art. I think Surgical is better than Leyline, but... What do you think?
If Tom is saying that Leyline is better...
Oh, did Tom say Leyline's better?
Yeah. This is pretty good.
That then, if you'd like.
Yeah, I do like this. I think because we also have Force of Vigor for Wish Claw, I'm pretty happy to kind of switch those for the Twirl the Needles. Because it can be a little bit better.
3 Needles, as Tom said, hitting Wish Claw is great. I think we can take out a Sylvan Scrying.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And put a Needle back in.
Yeah, I think Leyline hitting Echo is enough because it kind of acts like a Mindbreak trap against Echo.
Yeah, see, Panda thinks that Surgical is better than Leyline, which is what I thought too, but I mean, I'm happy to listen to Tom if you want, and just
we could just go down to 2.
I wouldn't bring in all 4. You've got to choose between your Leylines and your Surgicals and put back in 1 Scrying, 1 Needle.
Yeah, okay. I think... Oh, sorry. We're going to go with both.
Okay.
I think they do have different...
I don't mind cutting 1 Sylvan Scrying, but I don't usually like cutting 2. I guess we're keeping... Yeah. We've got Leyline if it's good. We've got 2 Hand Destructions and Hex Mage, and we just need to find... See, everyone's saying that they don't like the Leyline. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Leyline isn't that great against Test, but I think it's just good enough if they're playing Echo, because Echo is just so good. And especially if we have a Hand Disruption start, I don't want them refueling through Echo.
Do you want to keep this? It's a little bit awkward.
I think I do, because it does allow us to slow them down a bit.
Yeah. So I guess we're turn 1, Hand Disruption, turn 2, Hand Disruption, turn 3, hopefully we found a Dark Depths. It's kind of awkward no green mana, actually, because we're literally only drawing to 4 cards. But we'll see.
I think we play Inquisition first because
Yeah.
we might want to keep the Thoughtseize for one of their bigger spells.
The only issue would be is if they have Echo, but
we have Leyline,
so it's
yeah.
fine. Ponder, bunch of mana. That's interesting. If we take a Lotus Petal, they can't ponder, but oh no, they can off one Lotus Petal. I was thinking we turn off the Mox Opal. I guess we just take a ponder. What do you think?
Turning off Mox is interesting because it makes them use the petal for
Petals.
something. My other thought is the Ritual, because Rite of Flame is kind of hit by Leyline. Taking
I don't
Mox...
think I want to take a Ritual. Like, I don't mind taking Mox so that they're low on their blue sources, but they're going to be able to cast one Ponder, so they're probably going to be able to find a land. So I kind of like just taking the Ponder personally, but what do you think? Because like they have 5 cards of mana, and if they find one land, anything we do that's taking Petal or Mox or Ritual seems less impactful than just taking a Ponder.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mixed thoughts.
Ponder or Opal. There's also a thought that if we don't take the Mox Opal, if they go Petal, Petal, Mox, Ponder, and then pass, if we draw a blue, green card, we can then force the 2 petals in their upkeep if we really wanted to.
So if that's the case, do you think taking Ponder, or do you think are you saying take Ritual?
It's not Rite of Flame. It's not 1 Ponder. I don't think it's Ritual. I think it is just either a Petal or a Ponder. I'm probably more happy taking a Petal.
I'm happy for you to take the Petal. In this spot, I would take Ponder though.
Yeah, it's tough if they because now if they Petal and then Ponder and shuffle and don't find a land, it's pretty tough. Oh, they found a Trop. Okay.
Hopefully they shuffle on this one so that we've got a clean Thoughtseize.
Chose not to shuffle.
Chose not to shuffle. Makes things awkward. Herborg. So they took a land, so we've got no idea what's on top. Is it just Ponder again? Like,
I think Ponder's pretty great because otherwise they do have access to, I guess if they have another artifact on top, they could have Mox Opal online, but I think Ponder here is good. Ponder's kind of the standout because everything else is mana.
Yeah.
And then just bog tapped.
Yeah. I haven't played this deck, like their deck, so I don't know how much... Like, I don't know if Ritual makes a difference there or not. I think that's why whenever I play against them, I always lean towards taking the cantrips, is just because I don't really know the calculations with their mana.
Yeah, that's fair. Huh.
Mindbreak Trap is kind of okay.
Is there a world where I don't play the Urborg?
I think you played the Urborg. The question is just whether or not you... Oh, wait, because of their mana, you mean?
Yeah.
They have a Dark Ritual in hand. I think it's probably fine to play it, but is there a reason to play it, I guess is the question. So if we draw Stage next turn, Urborg doesn't change anything. If we draw Depths next turn, Urborg doesn't change anything. If we draw Green Source, it doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
I can't really think of a card yet. The main question I would ask is whether you wanted to play that or not.
I think just to start getting in play and start beating down.
Because we're probably not going to win with that strategy, right?
No, but I think
we're probably not going to go 10 turns and attack them.
No.
So it might just be better to hold it just in case they can answer it with a Grape Shot. Because
Yeah.
then if they enter it with a grape shot, we're 2 pieces away from comboing.
Yeah, it does make peer through depths a little bit worse as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I assume they play one Adnors and one peer through depths. I don't think it's a straight switch, but I could be wrong.
I think when I watched someone playing it on stream, and when I was watching them, they had both.
Peer is only in the sideboard. Okay, Adnor's main. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Does Mindbreak Trap beat Veil because it says exile any number of target spells, not counter them?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't say like counter them and then exile them or something, so it should work.
So I assume the only way that our opponent could go off this turn and play around Mindbreak Trap is by playing Defense Grid out?
Yeah. Ad nauseum's the best card in their deck. Yeah, that makes sense. As I said, I've not played the Storm deck, and I don't know it super well to know like what matters in terms of mana numbers or life totals or things like that. I've just always thought on like the basic level of I'm probably not going to win by attacking with a Hex Mage.
Yeah.
So it seems more likely that the Grape Shot thing would happen and ruin the game for me. But I could definitely see that attacking could make things more awkward for them.
Yeah, cool. I think back to the playing the Urborg. If it was a Bayou, I'd probably be a lot more.
Oh yeah.
Because of the Force of Vigor, but otherwise it doesn't really help us cast any more spells in our deck anyway.
Yeah. I was going through like every card that we could draw, and it didn't seem like it changed anything.
Like perhaps there's something where they like bounce Leyline and then Echo us, and we just wanted the extra land in place. We could untap and maybe play like 2 mana spell, 1/1 or something.
Yeah.
But
if they do something that involves bouncing that and echoing, we're probably Mindbreak Trapping, so it might not be that much of a deal. But
there have been a ton of games against Tess and Ant where I've just lost when they're on 1 life. So even them not being able to, if they didn't want to fetch and wanted to use it just for black mana off the Urborg, that can always be a small consideration.
Two Chain of Vapor, yeah. Does Chain of Vapor bounce anything? Or I know it bounces the 2020, but does it bounce Leyline too? Or is it just...
Yes.
It's non-land, right?
Non-land permanent, yeah.
Yeah, that seemed like they're counting, maybe. They could also just have an awkward hand and they're unsure what they want to put back.
It's always tough as well when they're going off and you're not sure if they're gonna cast something like Duress first before the trap.
Yeah, hopefully they don't have a Duress.
I mean, if they're going for Adnors here, Opal's okay.
Well, then the question is, do we just counter the Adnors because of the fact that they could draw Duress?
Yeah, well, they only have 1 card left, so I think we just Mindbreak Trap this.
I guess if it's Wish, we could probably let them get their 1 card and then counter that 1 card, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true as well. Especially because they can only get 1 thing. Okay.
Draw another one.
Yeah, maybe there is a reason not to trap the Wish.
Because, yeah, like it just cuts off whatever good card they were going to get, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. But we don't have green mana.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to force the two lands. It would stop them from casting an Ad Nauseam, but I think it's better to keep the crop for if we draw green mana.
Yeah, they're also on 1 card in hand, so...
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Hopefully that one card's not Chain of Vapor. I think we're going for it this turn though.
Yeah. Just getting rid of the bog.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I think the only, or at least one of the things we could have done differently in that game was counter what they get because they're only on one card.
Yeah.
It's not like they could have like defense grid and something else.
Yeah, it's not like they're gonna search up Carnage Tyrant or something. I used to do that with Summoner's Pact against the blue decks in Modern. You cast Summoner's Pact and they just wait for you to get the Titan and you get Carnage Tyrant instead. So yeah, I would cut either Leyline or Surgical.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you think the Leyline's better, that's fine. I don't really.
I wonder if Leyline, if they saw the Leyline in game 2, maybe they think that they keep Echo in the board and just have it as a Burning Wish target.
Yeah, that might happen. But yeah, I definitely would put back the third. The third Scrying and the third Needle.
Yeah. There's some sort for Safekeeper, but we do have the Step still in the deck, which is kind of nice.
Sorry, what did you say?
There is some thought to the Safekeeper
yeah.
because of something like Chain, but I think because we have the Step, I'm okay with that.
It's fine. We have Hand Disruption too for it.
I just want like Land, Inquisition, and like Mindbreak Trap. That'd be the sweet play.
Turn 2.
Yeah, but
Turn 2 on the draw.
this is an interesting one that I think I would love to get Tom's opinion on because obviously it's a pretty fast start from us, but it has no other than like Bog, which doesn't really do anything. We don't have anything.
Yeah. So I actually kept pretty much this exact hand on Friday against Storm and lost. I believe I was on the draw and it was a turn 2 kill with no interaction. And yeah, ship it every time versus Tez. Yeah, I was gonna say. And it felt like without a hand disruption spell, they were always gonna kill me before I was able to combo.
Yeah, exactly. Like, are we really gonna survive 3 turns without anything? So
yeah,
I can see why people would want to mulligan that. One lander with Spirit Guide. We have Collect Oof on turn 1.
Yeah, or just hand disruption on turn 1, depending.
Yeah. I don't mind this because it has, it does have mana, and then it also has the combo down the line.
Yeah.
And turn 1 Oof just sounds really nice. They've also gone to 6.
Yeah, I think this is fine to keep. Do we put back second hand disruption spell, do you think?
I think so, because I think that's probably giving us a way to win. So this is kind of like how we win. This is how we stop our opponent from getting there.
Yeah.
I guess we drop the Inquisition because Duress hits everything.
We might even want to Duress on turn 1. So yeah, we're putting Inquisition back, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We might want to Duress on turn 1 so that we are able to combo on turn 2, depending on what we draw. Like if we draw a Black Source for turn, we'll see. If they play out a bunch of artifacts, maybe we'll just want to do that. But Rite of Flame, don't turn 1 us.
This could just be a Echo line. I mean, we could, if they go Echo, we can Echo into Mindbreak Trap.
Yeah. It's a Goblins line. Goblins line doesn't seem that bad for us.
Means we kind of have to draw into another land.
Just a land, right? Which is not that bad.
1, 2, 3, 4. If they get 8, it's a 3-turn clock. Turn 1, turn 2, and then turn 3. Hex Mage is a blocker, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But
We'd need the land for that though, and by the time we have the land, we probably have the combo. It has
Yeah.
to be a black land actually, right?
They're gonna wish. I assume they hold priority and crack the LEDs.
Yeah.
Which is weird because we just got priority. Huh. Okay, I guess they don't need to. They're just gonna go for Echo.
Okay.
Alright. Is there any reason to exile the spirit card here? I don't think there is.
We can't do anything with it. It'd only be that we wouldn't be drawing it, but I don't think that
The
is worth anything.
Yeah, the only reason I can see is that if we exile it now and then draw into 2 more and Mindbreak, it means we can cast Mindbreak through Defense Grid. But that's a very like small line, and our opponent might even just change. They probably wouldn't change phase because they have mana floating. I think we're gonna lose this game anyway if we don't draw Mindbreak Trap. So
yeah,
bluff the Veil. That's true. Hey, haha.
Nice. Hopefully it's good enough.
Yeah.
They could just have Thoughtseize or something. It's usually in the sideboard.
I really don't want to see what they have.
Yeah, I know. Can we just skip forward like 3 spells or whatever? They might go for Grape Shot and fail with the Veil Bluff. That'd be nice.
Flame's okay. Wish Claw. That's a little bit scary because it does mean they can go and get a defense grid if they want to.
What's the mana? They have 3 mana.
Oh. This gets tapped. So we can't use the 1 mana to use it. That'd be sweet if we got it untapped.
Yeah, that would be cool.
This, like, is there a thought to trap this because it's the way that they get it?
It just depends. I'm just trying to think, like, whether... So... If we counter this and then they have a payoff in hand...
It sucks.
It's going to be pretty bad.
Yep.
They would have to have 1 in hand and be searching for... Like, you know, have a payoff in hand and be searching for some piece of interaction.
To be fair, like, the only reason we counter this is because we think he can go and get defense grid, but we can't beat defense grid anyway.
If they're going to get something to interact with us, that means they have payoff in hand, right? And then we can't beat that if we counter this. So I think we let them go get the payoff.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Trapping it to prevent grid just lets them win anyway. Yeah, exactly. I think they will know Mount Mindbreak Trap and you should counter it. They're going to get Thoughtseize now.
Yeah, I guess either way we're dead.
Yeah.
I guess we can hit it with 1 and then see if they don't go for it with the other.
Yeah, they definitely do. Oh, they're passing phase.
Yeah. Because of the 1 left.
Lose the mana, yeah. Okay, that's unfortunate.
I don't think there's a way out of that. The only way out is having Veil.
Do they play Adnors in the board as well? I mean, not Adnors, Tendrils in the board as well.
I'm not too sure. Yeah, there's Tendrils.
Because if they don't, we could counter the Wish Claw. But I mean, I'm sure they have a way to get something with Burning Wish.
Yeah. I don't think there was a way out of that. Yeah. That was turn 1 as well. That was crazy.
I'm just really bad at playing against this deck. They always like turn 1, turn 2 me.
Yeah, I thought the deck obviously has a lot more to it than the result that we got today. I think that even just maybe being a little more patient with the lines would have helped a lot. Um,
Yeah.
Even just
People like when people watch me play, they're always in the chat telling me what to do straight away. But I usually take like a minute on like every decision, just because there's so much to consider with it all.
mm,
Um, and yeah, like you can miss things like very easily. But I think the deck is really good. Like
yeah, I think
if
it's a
like if I
great
was
deck.
going to a GP or like something, if they had those for Legacy still, I'd be playing this deck for sure. Like I wouldn't even have any considerations to anything else really.
Yeah, I think the big consideration as well for it for competitive legacy is that it just wins quite quickly as well. So you can have some pretty big breaks between rounds, which can add up. Like you don't want to be grinding
Yeah.
with snow every single league. So I do
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure.
You also have the time to think about it a lot. So a lot of your lines, you can take 2 minutes a turn, with being
Yeah.
reasonable. But
In paper, you probably can't take 2 minutes a time, but yeah, on Moto, when you have the chess clock, like,
yep,
I'll take all the time that it gives me.
yeah, exactly.
But I think it's also actually easier to think about things when you're, like, if you're playing the cards in paper by yourself and you're only thinking to yourself, you're not talking to people. I think it's a little bit easier to make the decisions.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, very true. Because yeah, when you have sort of two different opinions, it's very hard to choose one. But
yeah,
um, yeah, I mean the deck was pretty consistent as well. I do like the amount of four elves that there are in this deck. We didn't get
or
Reclaimer, which is rough. A lot of time we didn't really. I didn't want the Reclaimer in our opening.
yeah, it's kind of just like it just feels like the 60th card a lot of the time. Like it's decent.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's really good, but I don't think you need it.
yeah. It's tough as well as being a one-off that you're not going to see it too much, but maybe at the times
Yeah.
you do see it, it is pretty good.
Yeah, it's just like crop 5 or whatever, right?
Hmm.
It's actually nice versus like Delver being able to block a Dreadhorde Arcanist or something like that.
Yeah.
Does come up.
Yeah. Hey Tom, have you ever played a sweeper, or do you usually try to not care about those sort of decks? So something like maybe not Plague Engineer because it's 3 mana, but something like Marsh Casualties is a card that I've seen people play with, but I'm not sure if, as like a new player to the deck, should you be concerned about decks that go wide, or should you just try to play over them in a way? So obviously,
I,
like Marsh Casualties would be cool against Goblins, or like if your opponent does have an empty line or something like Elves, but maybe it's just not in the 75 because those sort of decks you can just go over the top of them. You shouldn't be spending time to really concern about what they're doing.
I think this build of the deck specifically is just trying to win fast and consistently. So for the most part, it's just trying to win like pretty quickly against those decks, is my understanding.
Yep.
I did think that those cards were good when D&T was extremely popular.
Yeah. Okay.
Because D&T has like so many ways to interact with you. So if they have like so many ways to interact with you and then they also have a fast clock, it's pretty good to be able to slow that down. But against most of the other decks, you can just win quick enough.
Yeah, that's very true. Tom also saying that Tabernacle is a pretty good answer if you do want something like that in your sideboard, which makes a lot of sense as well because you can crop for it, you can scrying for it, you can find it with Reclaimer.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems pretty good.
It's pretty sweet. And you don't play too many creatures. I mean, we only have these 5, which is pretty funny. So
yeah, Hexmage doesn't stay in play very much either.
yeah, exactly. I really want to run this back. Cool. Okay. A huge thank you, James, for coming in and playing the deck with me. Do you want to tell chat where people can find you?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me on as well. So you can obviously find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/WheresWolfe. I'll put an emote in the chat so that you can see me there easily. Also on Twitter is WheresWolfe_. So you can pop me a follow on there. I just started Twitter pretty recently. I started Twitch maybe 2 months or so ago. I really like Legacy. I love this deck a lot, so I do play this deck. I go through phases. I might play it quite a bit for a week or so and then not play it for a little bit as well. Played a lot of Modern, a lot of different Modern decks. Usually, I actually thought about this, the best way you can describe the decks that I like to play is the opponent's life total usually doesn't matter. So if it's like Dark Depths combo or Control decks or like Doomsday or in Modern, I like to play different combo decks as well when they were legal. And I play Arena too. I know a lot of people who like Eternal don't like Arena, but if you like Arena, I play a lot of Standard. I love the mono black Godfar's Gift deck in Historic, so I play that a bunch. It's really cool. Yeah, that's pretty much me, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, a huge thank you for coming on. If you guys want to find me, you can find me on Twitter here. You can find me on YouTube here, where all my videos are uploaded. I'm going to raid Mr. Lee because we played against him, and he's also still playing, which is cool. Looks to be a pretty fair deck. It's actually the deck that I think he was playing when he played against us, so that should be pretty fun.
I think you needed to slash the raid instead of exclamation mark.
I did. Thank you. Nice. A huge thank you to everyone who followed and subbed. I'll be back on Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time as usual. Enjoy your weekends. Thanks again, James. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, dude. Catch everyone later.
Nice.